So, you know what? Being a dummy aside, if you guys aren't excited right now, I don't know what life you're living of extreme excitement, because there is nothing better than what we are about to partake in than right now, my friends. We have the beautiful and the strong, the wise and the young, the naive and the single. Ctownladiesman for streamer mastermind. Join me, my friends, because this one is going to be great. Mr. Ctownladiesman, how are you? And what is up?
I don't see myself on the screen.
Oh, I haven't done it yet. This is the technical. I got to guarantee technical difficulties, remember?
Help.
Okay, hold on.
Oh.
I know. What all this build up for what payoff, am I right? All right, so we got Ctownladiesman. We are building up. Where the fuck? I've done this before, I promise. Screen capture. Did I get rid of it? There it is. There it is. Ctown in the house. Round of applause for one of the greatest people in the world. We're good. I think we're there. I think we're there. Yes. Round of applause.
Marcus, I can't hear you.
Of course you can't. What do you mean you can't hear? Can you hear me now?
I can't hear Marcus.
Hello.
Oh my God. Oh, hello. Now I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I don't know what's going on right now.
The world just got better. There we go.
All right. We made it. What's up, everybody? Oh my God, this is so awesome. Dude, I just got off of work late, and I still made it on time. I'm a champion.
Go. Man, so it's almost like I had a feeling we needed more than 20 minutes to make sure everything
Yeah, that's
was
what I
okay.
was afraid of. My job just like... I have to go on deliveries a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just don't leave on time because just things.
Is it all of the female callers, is my guess?
Yes, actually.
You know,
it is 100%.
A delivery that's supposed to take 5 seconds ultimately takes, I mean, on a good day, probably 8 minutes, I would imagine. So.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, sometimes the customers want to just sit there and bullshit with me, which sometimes it's fine. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm trying to leave. I'm, you know, like, let's just do this next time I come if I'm here earlier.
Well, absolutely. Time is money, you know?
Well, yeah. And then, like, if I go over my, like, hour limit or whatever, you know, the district manager's, you know, budget gets blown and, you know, I'll get in trouble and, you know, the world will end.
Hour limit? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I got to know what you do.
If you work more than 40 hours, you know, they have to, like, you know.
Overtime.
They have to, yeah, they gotta blow their bonuses, you know, that they get that we don't get.
I don't think it's the bonuses they're blowing.
Well, they gotta cut it somewhere.
Yeah. So what do you do? Delivery man for what?
Yes. So I picked up this new job a couple months ago, and it's at Fastenal. You might have heard of it before, but
the fasteners, right?
Well, not just fasteners, anything industrial.
Well, excuse me for not intimately following Fastenal's rise to construction freaking hierarchy. So you deliver all types of things. Most know Fastenal, I believe, for their screws.
Yeah, screws, anything safety related, like vests and gloves.
Yeah. Helmets, lights.
Helmets, lights, paint thinner.
Safety cones.
Safety cones, all that stuff, yeah.
Tarps.
So, tarps, there we go, yeah.
Small tarps.
Small or
big
large.
tarps. Okay, I mean a little bit of everything. Metal tarps, Lindsay said. I don't think there are metal tarps. I think those are
metal
just called
tarps?
pieces of sheet metal.
Get a roof?
Yeah. I think that's just called sheet metal. He delivers the
hi, I'm looking for a metal
tarp.
Do you have them in stock, sir?
Yeah. So how many lonely housewives are you delivering these metal tarps to? I mean,
actually, so since all my clients are essentially industrial businesses,
so exclusively,
not too many.
Yeah, not too many.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so I actually today I went to this place that like it's like a repair shop for like the light rail system in the city that I take like when I go downtown drinking, which was crazy to me. It's like, dude, I'm like behind the scenes right now.
Absolutely. You're seeing how the Matrix is programmed.
Yes, and I gave them a bunch of like air filters for their building, and that was it. But
I gotta know though. Now, did you take advantage of your sneak peek into the back rooms, and did you say, "Hey, like, can I look around and network and commingle with you, wonderful people"?
So It kind of depends on the business.
Yeah.
I've been to like a factory type place where you have to wear like a hairnet and a mask and like a helmet and glasses and everything just to get in.
Yeah.
And I have seen where they produce the oil for the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh my
like,
gosh! Did you have to sign
on
an
the
NDA?
conveyor? Oh yeah, like on the conveyor belts, like with the machine, like this. Oh my god, my mic. With like dispensing, you know, like into the bottle or whatever. Like, dude,
You saw the heart
it was
of it.
gnarly.
Did you get a complimentary 5-gallon bucket?
No, I wish I did though. They won't even let me near like the conveyor belts. Like,
Really?
they got it all blocked off. Yeah, it's like.
So it wasn't like Laverne and Shirley. You know, you couldn't
No,
went up
no,
and
no, no,
put
no,
a
no,
glove
no, no,
on
no,
there.
no.
Hey, look at
Nope.
you getting an old reference. Let's go.
No, we're not. It's not like that. They're trust.
There you go.
This place, I mean, some places like have like armed guards that I've gone to too, which is pretty crazy.
So you
And
work
I'm just
for...
giving them a couple boxes.
Yeah, well, what's in the box? You know, the famous...
I don't know. I just sign the paper with them and then, you know, get the hell out of there sometimes. You know, it's like, it just all
kidding.
depens.
I mean, is there a certain time when you feel like you've had too many rectal exams to where you're ready to move on to a new job?
Probably.
But
that's
not
kind of
yet.
what was going with my last job at Lowe's. I worked at
Oh,
Lowe's. I was
God.
a Lowe's superstar. Like, I busted my butt off there for 2 years.
Lowe's. We
And
love Lowe's. We love Lowe's.
Lowe's.
Well, we hate
All
Home
right.
Depot. I'll say it publicly. Home Depot.
Good.
Screw
Good.
you, man. So
They
what?
wouldn't even hire me.
What about Lowe's? What
So-
made Lowe's worth staying at for 2 years?
It's an okay job if you've never had a job before and you're just like trying to get started.
Yeah.
And you know, you have nothing under your belt.
Yeah.
But then after 2 years, they wouldn't give me a full-time position. And I'm just like, you know, I had my motorcycle to pay off and I just, you know, I'm just trying to pay rent and everything.
Being
And
a baller
they're-
is expensive.
Yeah, and exactly. And they're like, you know, and I'm there for 2 years. Well, I was trying to get full-time like since I was 6 months in and beyond.
Yeah.
And, you know, nothing. And during the summer, I was doing okay because they pretty much just handed out like how many hours you wanted because it was so busy there.
Yeah.
But like, you know, once that was over, like pretty much after Labor Day up until like, I don't know, Easter, that's kind of like, you know.
Is that the hot time for Lowe's?
No, that's the downtime.
Oh,
in
the
between
opposite.
Labor Day
That's
and
the
Easter.
cold time.
Yes, yes.
So
So like
what
in
is-
between,
Yeah.
so like, you know, Easter all the way to Labor Day in the summer months, that's prime time. So, you know, if you're working part-time there, you can just work as many hours as you want. They don't care. But
Oh, but once
I was just trying to get
Yeah.
like full-time for like the consistent paycheck yearly, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
So-
they wouldn't give it to me.
Okay, so what was the straw that broke the Ctown's back?
My last attempt at applying for a position there, that wasn't even in my department. I worked in their inside garden department. So
Yeah.
like the lawnmowers and grills and
Oh, the cool
you
stuff.
know, all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the cool stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I applied to go be the full-timer down in plumbing. I mean,
Hey,
now listen,
listen.
I've gone
we
over
got plumbing in the blood, okay? Now watch yourself. We got a lot of respect for the crack.
All right, I know you're like the master cheeks with the toilets.
You
and,
better believe
you know,
it,
all
brother.
that stuff.
You
okay?
don't get a crack
But-
this powerful unless you're born into it.
Okay, but like, I've gone over to that department to help out before, just for like stocking the shelves and everything
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And customers have come up to me. They have like this insanely old like pipe in their hand, and they just don't know what they're doing. And then they want me to help them, and I'm like, okay.
And you don't
sir.
know. You don't
No,
know.
I have no idea.
You don't know a 45 1.5 inch from your asshole, right?
Nah.
And that's okay. There's a lot to plumbing. And it's a
Yeah.
pain in the ass, and I would never do it for a living. But I had to give you
Oh,
shit
yeah.
just because I have done tons of plumbing. And it is,
Yeah.
it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
So you didn't
Yep.
get the job, and you said, that's it.
Yeah, I was
You
just
don't
trying to
deserve
literally
me.
just get in, just to like be like on the full-timer squad.
Yeah.
And then that way, once I'm on there, I can kind of put my name in to go back over to
Absolutely.
Inside Garden eventually. You know, that's what I was trying
move
to
around. And showing you're willing
Exactly.
to change, willing to
Yeah.
cross-train, willing to
Yep,
do different
exactly.
stuff.
do. And they wouldn't do it. So I was
Now-
just like, you know what? I've been here for 2 years. I'm gonna be 23. I'm not going anywhere in life. And I was like, well, I gotta do something.
Good for you.
So,
Way to realize that.
Yeah, I threw in my 2 weeks, and they were really salty about it. And I'm like, you guys are salty?
yeah, for real.
Sir. So, anyways,
Your loss,
I
bitches.
found Exactly, literally. So anyways, I started school, and well, then COVID happened, so I hadn't really worked up until
I
a
forgot
couple
COVID.
months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
COVID changed the world, man.
it did. Yep. I went through one semester of college.
Pre-COVID.
Fall 2019, pre-COVID.
Yep.
Spring semester 2020 starts. We go to spring break, and we never went back.
Wow. Do you feel you were saved from college? Or are you planning on
by
going
COVID?
back? Yeah. Did COVID save you from going to college? Or was it a bad thing?
No.
I guess I should ask your opinions on college.
I mean, it certainly worsened it, but the problem is that, like, I was pretty much, like, ready to start my sophomore year.
Yeah,
so, like, if I had
absolutely.
dropped out, like, I was already, like, so deep into it, you know? Like, I was just like, oh, I might as well finish, and now I'm going to graduate next year.
Yeah.
So it was a really tough decision for me that summer, because I was just like, well, you know, maybe I should wait it out because everything's shut down, and, like, you know, you got to wear masks to freaking class, and
man.
it's, you know,
Swab your
it's
assholes.
like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
That just seems like it'd be very difficult to learn in that environment.
yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, when we got back from, like, the non-online world, like, I mean, this has pretty much been like this up until now, because this upcoming semester we're not doing any of that anymore.
Wow.
But
So you have been doing online classes.
no, online ended fall 2021.
So then you went from, what was it, spring of 19 to fall of 2021?
Yep, online, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's
And then-
left?
So
What are you
what's
going
left?
for?
Well, I have to get my bachelor's still
In?
in economics,
Okay.
which
Okay.
would not recommend to anybody listening
Yeah,
right now. Would
interesting
not
choice.
recommend if you are not good at calculus specifically.
Oh.
Okay, I'm telling you guys right now, I hated calculus in high school, and some of the stuff that I did in high school
Oh
is a
my
piece
gosh.
of cake compared to what I'm doing now.
No way.
So, yeah.
I made it to geometry, and that was probably the end for me. Algebra 1
Okay.
was fine. Geometry seemed fun. I could draw pictures with lines. But the second Algebra 2 came around,
Yeah,
me and
that's-
math
yup.
no longer agreed with each other. And I was
Yup.
done with math from that point on.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though is that, like, I hated English growing up, like, you know, just going through grade school, and then when I started college, like, I like it better than math now, because, like, you know, before I would be forced to read a book that I don't
Yeah.
really care about,
cares?
and then
Catcher
I've got
in
to
the
write an
Rye.
essay about it. But
Yeah.
then now what I have to do is they, like, give us a topic, and depending on the professor and whatever, like, they give us some leniency on, like, what exactly we're writing about.
Yeah.
But you just go and do your research on the, you know, the internet or the library or whatever, and then you just
Literally.
write your essay.
Well, there's Harvard class. I love to bring this up. Like, I'm pretty sure Harvard posts a lot of their courses online for free. You can literally have Harvard level education just on YouTube. That is a different world of education, man. And I just don't know if the old world of teaching and the new world of knowledge overlap in the way that they need to anymore.
Oh, I think COVID has pretty much forced the hand on that one,
Yeah,
actually. I could tell that, like, some professors had,
God,
like, never
I can.
taught an online class before.
Absolutely.
And,
it's
yeah,
completely different.
Yeah.
Because think about the
So-
difference just in our conversation right now. Like, if we were both here or somewhere together, the vibe would be completely different on how we were talking to each other. You know, or in front of, even better, in front of an audience. You know, the Marcus and Ctown show, right? Live
Right,
in
yep.
front of Madison Square Garden, 750 million in attendance. They're outside
God.
all the way to the Capitol. That they had to take down one of the walls just so people could see in. That's how popular our show is. Now think about the vibe there, and now compared to doing the same thing but on a screen, even to the same amount of people. Because now, as much as it's very cool to have huge numbers with streaming, is what I'm talking about, I would argue that if you had 100,000 viewers compared to even 50 real life people in life, it would that 50 would be 10x the impact compared to, like, the communication that happens through
Right,
the
yep.
screen. It's just
Yep.
different. It's a collective, almost societal energy. Like, for a great example is when you did your bike IRL stream.
Oh,
That
yes.
was, you were
Yes.
melting to death. I could see the sweat under your bike.
Dude.
I thought you popped a hole in your gas tank. But
That was a really bad day.
the energy you had, though, while you were out talking and not reading chat and just experiencing the world, truly different vibe than video game streams, right? And there's something to that, and it's cool. It's really cool.
It is, and it's interesting because I see some people on like in chat on Moto Mondays that like never come to like my gaming streams and vice versa.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, and then some people are overlap obviously because they just love me that much.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Is Mary
Yep.
Redacted one of those amazing people?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Ooh.
Yes.
See,
Possibly.
Mary, not officially. You hear that? I'd be offended. I'd be pissed. Hey, Mary, you're number one in our book, okay? You and Lindsay will be besties. C-Town, he doesn't appreciate you the way we do over here. Okay?
Look, there's certain calculations that have to be made still.
Gotcha.
I'm an econ major, so we
True,
gotta do all
you
these
know.
fancy calculations.
People are numbers.
So,
See, you could get in the
yes.
government. That'd be great.
That's what I've been told. So it's like, actually, I can tell you guys how I got my job right now. Which
Yeah,
is pretty
because
crazy.
right now in our story, we're not at present yet. So COVID hit. You've been going
Yes.
to college.
Oh yeah. So COVID hit. Yeah. So COVID hit. Yep. And
Go
then, that's kind of when I started becoming a small streamer type deal.
Were you a
So-
streamer observer prior to? Mary's,
I was not.
Mary, you heard me, Mary, and I mean it.
Oh my god.
Okay, so anyway, COVID hit. Were you a viewer, you said, but when did you discover Twitch? How long have you been in the creator landscape?
So I tried YouTube actually. but
Really?
You won't find anything.
So
though.
I found something I've been meaning to tell you. I don't know if that's still your channel, but apparently you're some type of memer. Is that true? You combine a bunch of movie clips?
Quite possibly, yes.
And then through those combined movie clips, they're quite hilarious
Yes.
little sentiments about our culture and society. And I can say I absolutely love it. One of them got me like, damn. But art is art. So, please go on. Please go. Tell me about your YouTube
That
career.
was also a I have nothing better to do right now, COVID type deal.
Okay.
So that's where those came from.
Decent views. So you decide, you know what? I'm gonna make some meme shit on the
Yes.
YouTube.
And then that's
you
when
did.
and I was already playing like video games online with like friends and whatever.
As a
and
streamer?
I guess no, not as a streamer, just like just not
In general,
streaming.
just playing video
In
games.
general, yeah. And I guess we'll talk about Battlefront because that's pretty much the mainstream of my channel. But yeah, so I got the game back when it came out, and I would just get on my PlayStation and send out a message to like the to the group chat. Hey, who's online right now? Let's get in the party and just play and whatever. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, I'm doing all these like funny, hilarious YouTube clips. What if I because you can use your PlayStation as like a broadcaster to YouTube, you know what I mean? And I was like,
I didn't know that. So you can go straight from YouTube or PlayStation to YouTube?
Yeah, like you sign into your account like on your PlayStation, and then you tell it to capture like the game, and then it will broadcast it to YouTube.
Listen here, PlayStation. You capture this, throw it onto YouTube. Is it relatively simple? Like, is nice and integrated?
Simple, but it's like Papega.
Yeah. So kind of how the Xbox and Mixer were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like it's great if you just don't have anything, but like I have a PC and I have OBS and why
not?
use what the PlayStation have, you know?
Absolutely.
So like that's pretty much I was thinking to myself, so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to just play this game either way. I might as well broadcast it, maybe make a little bit of like, ad revenue I'm getting from like all those YouTube clips that I'm making, And then I discovered Twitch cuz like it's just better. So I was okay. Maybe I'll just try Twitch.
Yeah.
And then I tried Twitch, and then I kind of just slowly grinded to affiliate throughout the semester.
Okay.
In between like going to class and doing homework and whatever.
And you were going on? So hold on, back. We gotta back it up a second. So were you going live on YouTube?
Yes.
Yes.
So I did that a couple times.
And how'd you like it? How'd you feel at the time?
It was just too basic for me.
Yeah.
Like,
the love wasn't there.
Yeah, I think YouTube, honestly, I know they're trying to compete with Twitch. Good luck, but
They have a long way to go.
Yeah, I think they're made for just uploading a pre-recorded video. That's obviously a lot better than what Twitch has for that purpose. So it's,
well, the culture of streaming really is, Twitch is the mecca, right?
Yeah.
They understand what it means to just lull all constantly for no reason, right? They understand what it means to not be constantly entertained, because live streams have downtimes. A YouTube video, on the other hand, is edited to be entertaining essentially the whole time. So with you were doing the lives on the YouTube, did you keep uploading when you switched?
So I was thinking about, okay, maybe because you know how like your VODs get deleted like after 2 weeks?
On Twitch?
So on Twitch, yeah.
Yes.
So I was thinking about, because you can like download them in like your settings or whatever on your account.
Yep.
And I was sort of thinking about just like archiving them on my YouTube, but I did that a couple times and I was just like, oh my God, this is so much work. I got like an essay to write that's due this weekend.
Yes.
You know, so I was like, yeah, nah, hard pass. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just keep the funny, quick meme videos for YouTube.
Yep.
And keep all the gaming to Twitch. And that's pretty much what I decided at like the end of summer 2020.
Really?
So I kind of experimented around like after COVID like initially hit, and then by the time the next semester started is pretty much when I had my mindset determined.
So did you, when you went into it, did you ever have a, like what you would call an official starting point? Like from this point on, I'm going to do this, stream this amount, post this many videos. Did you ever actually sit down and do that, or have you just been kind of going at it and watching it evolve?
It sucks because I'm a student.
Yeah, I bet.
And now I'm working 30 hours a week, so it's like in theory, like if I wasn't a full-time student, I probably would have hit partner by now. Like I have that drive. You know what I mean? Like I just could not physically stream because
time
I'm just
didn't
too
exist.
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like at the end of that summer, I pretty much said to myself, okay, let's just like casually do it, but not like expect like anything glorious for a while.
So do it without setting goals.
Exactly. Yeah. Just do it, and like whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much what my game plan was.
Okay.
And then
a lack of a game plan was your game plan. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
It was this thing called winging it because
was your plan.
I'm a young,
absolutely. You're a
whatever.
young buck, got a lot of stuff to do. I get it, man. I get it.
Yep. And then I met Director Chronic. I was just surfing.
How'd you come across the
Twitch
Chronic?
one day?
Yep.
So you can search like streams by category.
Yep.
And I wanted to expand my like Battlefront like contact list.
Interesting. Okay.
It was very limited because it was like the only guys I knew on it were on my PlayStation, who I met through the forums for the game, which literally people only went on those forums to complain about the game, which was more entertaining than the game sometimes. Believe it or not.
Blows my mind when people say they are on internet forums. So we'll talk about that later. So
that's a whole different subject.
That's weird. I've tried to Reddit. I don't get it.
Nah. Too much.
You're searching for love in all the right places. You come across Director Chronic. Just literally random search. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm just clicking on random streams, like seeing like who like meets my vibe.
Yeah.
And after a few tries, I hit up Director Chronic. I'm just sitting in his channel for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. He's, playing a game or whatever.
Okay.
And I'm just typing away, being myself or whatever. He's laughing to my comments and everything.
Just singing to him.
Yes. Yep. And then before I even decided to follow, I was gifted a sub.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa.
What a community.
And I didn't even know what that was back then because I wasn't affiliate yet.
You were a baby.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
And I looked into it and I'm just like, oh my God, someone literally just spent money on me for being funny.
Oh. Wait a minute.
I was like, oh, okay. So I followed him, and then, I kept going to every single stream. I kept just popping off in his channel and everything like that. And then I met even more people through him over the coming months.
Other streamers or other
other streamers, yes.
Okay.
I was going
to say any people. So Director Chronic, any other people that like you would attribute to really helping you along in this journey?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I met other streamers at the time were playing Battlefront. Now they're not anymore.
Okay.
But I can think of a few people initially
Judas.
offhand, like Serpent, Mr. Boba Fett, High Jedi.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of like super old original people in our little community, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the game was free for PC January 2021. And ever since that happened, I started playing the game with Chronic on his channel.
Big boy.
Like carrying him like while he's streaming.
Wow. Is that why everybody says not C-Town? Because whenever they have to go against you, you just spank them? Is that what the not C-Town in the Director Chronic comes from?
Yes.
Not C-Town. Every time I see it from like a couple people.
Yeah, so I've had the game since it came out.
Okay.
And, like I just played the absolute shit out of it on my PlayStation. And it's the same game on PC, obviously. And I can plug my controller in my PC and it's literally the same game. It's nothing different.
Yeah.
And I can still remember the very first like match or like few rounds I played with Chronic. And because he never seen me play before, he just knew I had the game and played it. And like, I mean, I think a lot of people in here probably won't understand a lot of this, but like,
we're listening.
Lando is my man on the light side, and Phasma is my man on the dark side.
Gotcha.
So like, I'm going with Lando for one game, and I'm point blank stunning people right in front of Chronic. Like you can see it on his stream back then.
Okay.
And I'm just melting people right before his eyes, and his face lit up, and he was like, "Oh my God, C-Town, let's go, let's go!" I mean, it was it was insane.
Yeah.
And we just sort of developed a very, very long-term, ongoing friendship because
I love that.
like every time he's streaming, I'm in there carrying him so he can just sit back, relax, read his chat. And vice versa. So it's, plus the other people I mentioned earlier,
Yeah. So your skill and your charisma, your good sense of humor all led you to this kind of world of Battlefront. Or no. Yeah, Battlefront. Led you to Director Chronic. And then after impressing everybody, what happened? What was after that? So you're in the network. So you're loving everybody. Everyone's loving you except for people you're going against. What happens next?
Yeah, and then by then I'm affiliate. And then obviously back then, I honestly miss these days so much because this was before Chronic was partner. So back then, Chronic would raid people like Boba or me or, a warrior nerd, which is now known as Lore Seeker because a couple people changed their names. Which is crazy to me. So he would like go out and raid people. So now our like communities are like overlapping, and the same people that are playing with him play with me, and vice versa.
I love that.
And like I go to other people's like chats, and like the same people from his chat are in there.
Yeah.
And it's like now we have our own little like friendship like group going on, So that's pretty
there
much
a
how
team?
that all.
Is there a team there?
There is a stream team, and I've actually
Really?
gotten this question a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Let's hear it. Tell me about it.
The way it works is that like a partner can form a stream team, which is basically just like a link you can click on and has all the streamers on there, like a part of the team.
I saw that. And then it gives like previews if people are live, right?
Yes, exactly. You can see exactly who's live out of everybody on the list. So a lot of people are asking me like, "Oh, C-Town, how come you're not on a team? C-Town,
Oh, you're not on the team.
Blah, blah, blah." I am not. Officially, I am not.
Really?
And I cannot confirm why because I don't know. I've never asked. I've never like hinted at being added.
Interesting.
None of that's it. I don't want to like overstep my boundaries, even though I've known him for like forever. But
so it's a hope, but it hasn't happened yet.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
That's amazing.
I don't want to like be that guy to just drop the question.
Yeah.
And like
do you
put him
think
in
they're
that spot.
intimidated by your greatness? Like you'll overshadow?
No, I don't.
Are you? I mean, are you sure? You're kind of a big deal.
Well,
look at that smile. Come on.
I feel like, let's say like he just went live one day and he just announced it, like I was on the team now. I feel like his chat would literally explode and the stream would lag out. That's probably how crazy it would be.
The universe would shut it down.
Exactly. The universe would just shut down. The earth would stop spinning. Like that's probably what would happen if I was, announced to be joining, basically.
So I got a question for you now. How would you feel if the whole time both of you have just been waiting for each other to do something?
Oh my God, I would.
Wouldn't that be silly?
That would be literally. Oh my God, that would be something.
Yeah.
Wow. I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of times the over politeness.
Why hasn't he asked me? Why hasn't he asked me? Should I ask him? Like, yeah.
Well, because ultimately, if you're coming from a good place, are you gonna be? Will he be offended if you ask? Because that's the question you gotta ask.
And that's what I'm worried about too.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where you come from. Is if it was me personally, I would. If it's something I truly wanted, you don't ask with an expectation that you're gonna get it. You more ask in a way of something that you want to aspire to. I really want to be on this team, in case you didn't know, and I just would love to know what it takes, kind of deal. But that's hard, man. It's putting yourself out there, you know?
Yeah,
but
it is.
I'll tell you, holding yourself back because you're scared to put yourself out there leads to a lot of not getting things you want to get, right? And I'm not trying to make this like a counseling thing, but to me, I've watched so many people just have an opportunity be one question away. Like I've said, why don't you ask for a raise? Oh, I just never thought I could. They come back to me a week later and they'd say, oh, they just said I didn't think about it. Here's your raise. Yeah. So just, you know, I don't want to tell you to go do what to do, but I like you if it was my team. The only reason I could see is if they have like a qualification for
I was trying to 5-head it actually like a long time ago, like 6 months ago. I was trying to 5-head it and just be like, okay, what are the similarities between everybody else already on it that I don't have?
Yeah.
And I think one of them is like a follower, like
okay.
So all of them are in the thousands.
Yeah.
I'm not. So maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
But maybe it's also like a consistency thing, because like right now I'm basically streaming 3 times a week.
Yep.
All of them stream almost every day, as you know.
Okay.
So I have my Moto Monday, and then on Fridays what we're gonna do now is have our daytime Battlefront stream, and then on Sundays we're doing DVD. So that's pretty much what the summer schedule is, to work between the 30 hours a week I'm working and also give me a little bit of free time non-off streaming days.
Okay.
So it's, you know, if I didn't have a job right now, I would be slamming it hard right now. I wouldn't have any time to do this right now.
Slamming it hard.
I would just be
slamming it.
8 hours a day playing whatever game, you know.
Yeah.
I would also be branching out too a lot, because like all I play is Battlefront and Dead by Daylight, and then you know, I try to go back to Halo.
IRL. Oh God, Halo. Halo's tough.
That game. Yeah.
That game.
I tried it.
Nope. No thanks.
It was fun when it came out, but now it's not anymore.
It was fun, and now they sold their souls, and I can't forgive them. So Halo 1 through 3 is still by far hands down best games ever. You should. They're amazing.
Do it. You know, like a throwback Thursday type deal or whatever. I was thinking about that.
Really? I think we found Ctown through.
Oh yeah. How did?
An angelic intervention. Mac Daddy. Mac Daddy. Yeah, that'll do it. And he knows Mac Daddy through Chronic.
Yep.
Amazing.
You see that? How it just keeps like
the network
spider webbing out. Yep.
So, all right, I just love it, Ctown. You have an education goal. You have I was gonna say real estate, a streamer.
Real estate.
Yeah, you have a streamer plan that you're working, or goals that you're working towards casually, right? And then, is there anything other balls going in the air? Because you're doing work. So we haven't got to work yet. So you're streaming. You networked with Director Chronic. You're getting a thing, but recently. You said, or somewhat recently, you started this job?
Yes. So basically what was going to happen is like, okay, I'm going to graduate college next year. I have nothing on my resume besides blows.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a bunch of denials at blows.
Exactly. So I wanted to have, like, if this job doesn't work out in the future for whatever reason, at least I'll have it on the resume saying, hey, I had this experience. I had clients, and, you know, I was responsible for a company vehicle and deliveries, and you know, that obviously looks good, you know.
Well, and a lot of money. I'm sure you're delivering very high value.
Oh yeah, some of these things like are thousands of dollars and sitting in the back of the pickup truck, and I'm, you know, driving downtown in these, you know, sketchy neighborhoods.
Exactly.
And, you know, I can't just park it and go to the gas station and leave it there. I got to deliver it first and stuff like that, you know?
And that shows responsibility. I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I would definitely not recommend leaving a big old piece or a expensive piece of equipment in the back of a truck while you're going to the gas station to get a donut.
Yep. Oh yeah, I've taken out like DeWalt drills before.
Wow.
And I mean, that's hundreds of dollars for one box.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole truck full of them. So it's like, you know, yeah,
So
it is a lot of responsibility. At Lowe's, as long as I showed up on time and helped the customers, that's all I care about.
Put your vest on, you know, had your vest
exactly.
going. Okay.
Yep.
So when it comes to streaming, you know, we're caught up to present now. Okay.
Yes, we are.
Within your schedule, within what you're capable of doing because of real life things, what is like here's what I always like to do. What's the best case scenario goal by the end of this year? I'm doing this. And what's the bare minimum goal? Right?
For streaming.
Yeah, for streaming. So like, what are you truly hoping to accomplish?
So best case scenario, we get into the thousands on the follower count.
Yeah.
And we either A, are set up to join the streaming team, or we're already in it.
Yeah.
That's the absolute best.
So 2023 comes around. You're watching that ball drop. You got beautiful, beautiful persons on your right. As soon as it hits you, if you have 1,500 followers, stream team logo, Ctown's kissing her as happy as possible. Is that what's happening? Like,
exactly,
is that your year just beyond good? So what's the minimum?
I mean, so the minimum, I don't like looking at minimums. And
well, so change your mindset though. You're not looking at a minimum. You are setting an expectation of a minimum.
Econ's all about minimum and maximum, and you know.
But this isn't finance. This isn't finance. This is sociology. This is psychology. This is motivation for an individual, right? Individuals aren't motivated simply by max and minus, right? Individuals are motivated by obtainable and unobtainable goals. If a person feels demotivated because a goal is too far out, they'll easily be able to justify not putting the time in compared to, I just literally have to stream 2 days a week. I'm a lazy little bitch, right? So that's kind of I'm not saying you're wrong. I just am saying a different angle of it. Because as a person, you got to see what's going to make you stay motivated to accomplish your goals.
So at the minimum, I would definitely say I got to develop a consistent schedule, which I think I've almost already done, because the problem ever since I started streaming is that it was just never consistent, which doesn't generate people coming back every time.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. And the main problem is that, like, especially when classes were online only, I had homework almost every single day because they had to make up for the missed like lectures in class that I signed up for.
Yeah, they're trying to justify the money.
Yeah, exactly. And people were still paying like what they paid for an in-person class, like full price.
No way. Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, and online class is supposed to be cheaper.
Way cheaper because it's not an online class.
Yep, they were still charging people full price.
Nice, man. What a business model, huh?
It was
holy moly.
It was bad.
What a business model.
Yep.
So with a consistent schedule, is that 3 day like the 3 days, or is that not quite
for this summer? Yeah. I think I could maybe stretch it to 4, but the problem is that like I'm just so exhausted after work every day.
Will you be sacrificing quality if you added that 4th, you think?
I'd probably be sacrificing sleep, to be honest with you.
Damn. Yeah.
And then like during the semester, it's probably gonna be 1 or 2 days a week, to be honest with you, just because. And I've specifically set up my classes this semester upcoming, so I'll get out of class on Mondays wicked early. That way, I'll have plenty of time to at least have Moto Monday, because that's really what separates me, I think, from everybody I've ever met on Twitch. Like,
I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I don't think we even covered that, like how that even started.
Yeah, so tell me, Moto Monday.
Yeah.
So
I guess we'll go back
with
to
the bike.
2021.
Let's start with the bike.
Oh, actually, well, the bike.
Tell me about the bike.
Right now, it's my second motorcycle. It's number 2.
Wonderful.
Number 1 was never on camera. That was long before COVID, long before
Lola.
School and
Did she
and
have
all
a
that
name?
Stuff.
Was there a name?
Velma.
Velma? Was she old like Velma? Tell me about Velma.
So here's what happened. So I turned 21 and I was at Lowe's still, right?
Lowe's, good old Lowe's.
Yep. Yeah, good old Lowe's. And you know, it was the middle of summer and everyone was saying to me that I was going through like a quarter life crisis.
I've been there.
You know, there's like it's like a midlife crisis, but there's like apparently there's a quarter life crisis. Apparently.
Yeah. I have 8th life crises. So I find if I break up my crises into every about 4 years, it's a good balance. So maybe consider it. Maybe consider it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, like, you know, I'm working at Lowe's and you know, back then I was still kind of, it was like my first summer there. So back then I was still kind of new and it was like my first initial attempt to kind of join the full-time squad, which hilariously failed. But now I kind of see why. It's just because like there's just other people there that were just there longer and just better candidates than me, I guess. But anyways, and then I had recently gotten a girlfriend and I think, whoa, what are you doing?
Hold on, I'm so sorry.
Whoa, what's going on here?
I don't like that I'm looking away from you. Oh, for the love of. So I'm trying to flip it so when I'm looking over here, I'm looking to the.
Oh, okay.
I apologize
Am I
for
looking towards you?
Yes,
okay,
that's why it's bugging me. I'm being quite rude, and I'm sorry. Flip horizontal. So now when
I was
I'm looking
at
over,
it and I'm like, what is he doing?
Now when I'm looking over here, I'm looking at you. So when I look away, because this is all real. This is my real office. Okay. So now I'm looking at you. I apologize for not making eye contact the whole time.
No, that's okay.
All right. So you're at Lowe's. Okay.
Yep.
And your first attempt for the full-time failed. Go ahead. Go.
Yes, it failed miserably.
Yeah,
I recently got a girlfriend who also worked there, and
let's go. That's where the ladies' man came from.
That dates all the way back to high school. Actually, that's a whole different topic.
Hold on. Yeah, finish that. Let's finish that story because you know I gotta know.
Yeah.
So go
on. She was new there, so I was already there for like months.
Yeah.
And she was new. So I kind of took it as an opportunity to sort of like, I don't know, impress her by helping her because she's new. Because, you know, like when you're new at a job, it's like so awkward. You don't know anybody. And, you know,
yeah.
So
everyone's trying to hit on you.
Well, I don't think I was trying to hit on her, but, you know, I just kind of showed her like what to do on like the computer and like, you know, like the expectations around here. Yeah, it wasn't like an official training like the managers do that, but it was kind of like
you were the buddy,
sort of a off the books type realistic training. You know what I mean?
Supporting a fellow Lowe's employee.
Yes.
Look at you go.
Yep. And then you know we started going on our lunch breaks together. And, you know it was set up. Honestly, it was
it was made to be is what it sounds like.
Yeah. And then you know I was 21 and she was also 21, so you know we're going out. I'm just pounding the shit out of beers all the time. You know,
I'm really glad you said beers there. Okay. So you're going out pounding beers. You're pounding beers, having a good time.
You know,
and then are you guys officially dating at this point?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah. Like
Pounding
our first
beers.
date, we went to like a bar that had like a bunch of pool tables.
Okay.
And a bunch of other people from work were going there too. And he invited both of us without telling both of us we were going.
Oh damn.
And honestly, this is probably
set you up
to him.
Yeah, set
because like everybody, it was basically a couples gathering. So everybody got like their pool tables and their opponents besides me and her.
Yep.
So we basically were forced to default to each other, which was what I wanted.
Let's go.
So yeah,
months of planning, totally worth it.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yep. So I was 21 with a job. I could basically work as many hours as I wanted and just come in whenever I wanted to work.
Sheesh.
You know, I had a motorcycle. I was 21. I had a girlfriend. So I was just, you know, life was insane for me at that point.
Cloud nine.
So I wanted to top it off with the bike.
Yep.
And I wanted a motorcycle for a very, very long time. Have you ever seen the movie Tron Legacy?
Of course I've seen the movie Tron Legacy.
So
have you ever seen the original Tron?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
yes.
Just had to make sure.
Trust. I'm very familiar with the Tron
Marcus, trust.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, so go on.
You know, at the beginning of the movie, he's like on a bike and he's doing like 90 miles an hour running the cops and shit, and he's on like this super sweet Ducati that I could not afford.
No.
You know,
I've driven a Ducati.
I saw that.
They're
when did that
wild.
movie come out? I think I was like, let me
Oh
see.
no, here comes the old guy.
I must have been like 13 or something when that movie came out. I was like entering teenagerhood when that movie came out.
Tron Legacy, 2010.
Yeah,
2010 is when Tron Legacy came out.
So I was like a sophomore in high school, basically.
Oh my god. Okay.
Which is insane. Yeah,
that is insane.
So,
trust me. You don't even know.
So, you know, obviously back then I wasn't, you know, old enough just to go out and buy a motorcycle or even have the funds. And
I bought a
my
motorcycle
parents,
when I was 17. I bought a 2008 Yamaha YZF R6.
Really? Was that your first bike?
Hell, well, so that was my first street bike. I rode dirt bikes since I was like 5 years old.
So that's what I tried to do after I was told no on the motorcycle. Like, hey, can you just buy me like a 125 I can just screw around with in the woods or something, you know? And my parents were like, no. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll wait till I'm a grown ass man. I'll do whatever I want.
I'll do what I want.
So yeah, exactly. So that's basically when it happened is like, oh my God, I like that. This is the perfect time to get started now because all this other stuff's happening to me at once. You know, let's
make it
keep
rain,
adding
baby.
more and more and more. Yeah.
Spend money.
So exactly. So I found out Ducatis were extremely expensive, and I was like, okay, well, it looks like I'm not gonna buy the bike he had in the movie. And then I went to a dealer in town, and I just asked like whatever they had used, like, hey, I've never touched anything on two wheels before. Like, what do you have that's, you know, basic and just to get me started?
Yeah.
And
what can I afford?
Exactly. And they wouldn't let me finance it because it was too old. It was like a 2005 like Ninja 250. Yeah. And I guess insurance companies do not like older motorcycles for whatever reason.
Well,
because
there's
nothing wrong with it.
More inclined to mechanical failure. Therefore, it's different if your brakes fail on a car or your throttle cable breaks on a car.
Yeah.
But with a bike, people unfortunately don't take care of shit. So it's just a higher liability. I say, let me slide, baby. You know, I'm giving you money regardless.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And then I looked at like a Royal Enfield, which looked really, really nice. But then when I sat on it, so I'm 5'9", I sat on this thing and I was like barely flat-footing the ground. Like it was uncomfortable for my legs.
Oh,
and I wanted to like easily be able to flat-foot the ground. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a good-looking bike. I just looked up a Royal Enfield.
Oh, Royal Enfield. Oh, dude, it looks.
Let me show the people real quick.
Yeah. Can we? Yeah, and we can show mine too eventually. I'll show you a picture for later.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
Hang on, let me.
How do I do this?
It's on my phone. I'll send it to you. But yeah, so
So you wanted one or you got a Royal Enfield?
No, I wanted one, but I like, you know, sat on it, checked it out, and I was just like, I don't know. I think this is too big for me.
That's what she said. Okay, anyway, moving on. So that's a good-looking bike. I like those older style. That's like the European style.
Yeah, and that's what I was going for, just like an older style kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a cafe racer, but I was, you know.
Cafe racer.
I was. Yeah, I think that's what they're classified as. I'm pretty sure.
Exciting. Yeah, and anything you want to show off, just send to the Discord, and I'll bring it up.
Oh yeah. Hang on. Let me find a really nice picture of it on my phone because.
And if you guys want to know anything about Exner, well, obviously Exner, but about the Ctown, now is the time. We are opening the vault that is the brain.
Yeah, put your questions in chat, absolutely.
So if there's anything you've ever wanted to know, trust me, I'll ask them. I got no shame.
Yeah, so then I discovered the Honda Rebel because I was following...
that's another funny bike.
Yes, because I took like the class that you have to take to like teach you how to ride it.
Yeah, those Rebels.
I was honestly only doing it just for the insurance discount. That's the only reason why I signed up, because it's like a driver's ed course. But it's motorcycles. It's like a 3-day crash course. So, but then I kind of realized, oh my God, I probably should have no matter what, because like I would have been so bad on the road if I just like bought a bike and winged it.
Absolutely. Because the difference, I didn't want to take one because I had been riding motorcycles my whole life. So I'm like, are you kidding? Like I'm watching people fall over because they put their stand down while they're still standing on it or while they're still on the bike. So I get it. And I fully support, because there's nothing that'll kill you quicker than being on a motorcycle surrounded by other people driving.
Yep. It was a very, very strict session, but the instructor was an absolute guru. He was like, you could ask him anything about motorcycles of any topic and he will answer it Like,
no kidding.
Immediately. Like, this guy knew everything.
Wow.
And he made us all wear helmets, like full face helmets, so no half face, none of that stuff.
As you should.
Gloves and steel toe boots, like all that stuff.
As you should.
And jeans, of course. Like all of our skin had to be covered.
So have you had the inevitable crash yet?
I did.
That a
and
boy.
We can talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So, but that's when I took that class. Like they just have a hodgepodge of bikes to pick from.
Yep.
And that's when I discovered the Honda Rebel.
Yeah.
This was an older one though. The older ones suck.
Yeah.
All right, I'm saying this right now, Marcus.
I remember those Rebels.
Suck.
They were so small because they're for ladies. I mean, I mean that with love and respect, but they're for they're lady bikes.
It was a bad design in general, though.
It was.
The front tire is smaller than the rear tire, which makes no sense. They can both be the same size. Okay.
Ah, that makes sense.
I don't know what they're doing there.
Very gyroscopically sound.
Yes. And then the rear brake, like, just straight up doesn't work. Like, and then the problem with not braking from the rear is that you could high side yourself if you pull too hard on the front.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So it was a terrible, terrible design. And in 2017, which is the year when I was 21, and I, like, you know, all this craziness going on, you know, with my job and my girlfriend and that.
Yeah.
That's the year that they completely redesigned the bike from scratch. Honda spent billions and billions of dollars on this model.
Really?
And they completely redesigned
again?
the bike. 2017.
Okay. Interesting. I did not know about this.
Yep. So, and that's what the instructor told me. He was just like, yeah, hey, this is an older Rebel, but I think the newer ones might actually be good for you.
Yeah.
Because he told me not to go out and buy some, you know, 1600cc Harley or, you know, a Kawasaki Ninja 600. I mean, that's a terrible entry-level machine, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to kill myself on this thing. I'm like, you know, I got my whole life ahead of me.
And if you don't have the experience to fall on, there's nothing wrong with starting with a smaller bike, and then if you love it, upgrade eventually.
Exactly.
But nowadays,
that's what the plan was. Yep.
It's so hard to go fast anymore. Like, even back when I had my bike, you could still kind of break the law, I guess. And I'm not advocating for that, but ultimately that's the truth. I could go haul ass if I wanted to, and truly enjoy the bike. But nowadays, at least where we live, you can't just go out and have a good time anymore. Like, you truly need to be watching all the time.
When people ask me how fast I've ever taken my motorcycle, I ask them this question: on camera or off camera?
Yeah, for
I
real.
wink at them.
Unofficially,
and then,
hypothetically.
And then when they say off camera, I go, let's just say I could probably do the Kessler run in 20 parsecs or 12 or whatever the number is. Like the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars.
Yeah, dude, because he does a distance instead of a time.
Yes.
So, and then they tried to poorly explain what it meant. Boo.
Yeah, with 5 head Giga Chad energy.
Yeah, jeez. Oh, we went through a thing, and now that's why it makes sense.
Space and time.
Yeah, it's like if they tried to explain. We're talking about Star Wars, by the way.
Yes.
So it'd be as if they were trying to explain away why that one stormtrooper hit the door that one time, in the Death Star. Yeah. It's like, well, he actually had a fight with his wife. He was drinking that day. You know, he came in. He didn't expect a bunch of space wizards. You know, he was having a rough day. And then
his aim was off for all of those reasons.
That's in Star Wars 47.
It's in canon. It's in this line of text right here. Okay.
It is. It's wild. So, oh man, you have such a fascinating story. So,
yes.
So
now I go to the Honda dealer.
There we go. Okay.
I go to the showroom and I say, hi, I would like a Honda Rebel, please. And they go, okay, do you want the 300 or the 500? And I go, oh, there's 2 sizes?
Oh, we're starting strong.
And they were just like, yeah. And it was bad.
Clearly did his research before coming in.
Yeah, clearly. I just honestly, what I was also told is to just look at bikes at any dealer and just sit on them and check them out.
Get comfortable, whichever one's comfortable.
If it's not comfortable for you, then don't buy it. That's
Absolutely.
like a straight up #1 rule when you're looking for something.
That's why I tell everybody with bikes. You got to sit in it. You got to sit on it.
Yep.
That's what she said.
So that's what I did. I checked out the 300 because it was cheaper than the 500, but it was also smaller.
Yep.
So the 300 is a 300cc engine, single cylinder. The 500 is what I have now.
Single cylinder.
500, yes, single cylinder.
One cylinder.
One cylinder on a 300cc engine. Yep.
That would make sense.
The 500 is what I got now, and it's a twin cylinder.
Yeah, because my 250, I have a Suzuki 250 and a Honda 450. Mm-hmm. No, my 450 is 2-cylinder. My 250 was 1-cylinder. So yeah. So sorry, go on.
Yep. So, I sat on it, checked it out. Everything looked good. Nice digital, LCD screen with the speedometer and everything like that. Fuel injected, liquid cooled, all the, modern features that some of the older bikes I looked at earlier were kind of lacking.
Yeah.
And
like what?
It had
what like specifically was a newer feature that you liked? Oh, that's a good thing in my mind. What don't you like about carbureted?
Because you turn the key and press the button, it starts right up on fuel injected.
Oh, for the love of Pete,
it's like
you
car.
are misinformed, sir. But anyway, go on. We can talk carburetors another time, but I'm disappointed in you right now. All right, but that's okay. There's a lot of good reasons to be fuel injected because you can keep this owner's manual in your purse. So go ahead and go on.
Okay.
So, just kidding.
So,
go on.
It had
I'm
a
sorry.
really good price point.
I love that.
What I was getting. It had a really good price point out of what I was getting for everything else I looked at, like compared to.
And what year again? 2017.
2017. So It was retailing for $4,400.
Ooh, that's not bad.
For a 300cc motorcycle that has all the modern features on it.
Yeah, that's not bad. How many miles were on it?
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It was brand new.
Absolutely.
So,
can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, just making sure.
So, I said I wanted it, and we wrote it up. Actually, let me show you.
Let's see
a picture of that one too. Yeah.
Oh, I actually have one right here.
No, that's my new one. Hang on. Hang on.
Wait, spoiler.
That's classified.
Roll back the clock. This is Janet Jackson during the Super Bowl, and we saw a nipple.
Oh my God. Yikes.
Okay, we're good.
Oh, look at this. My files are too powerful from a picture. Are you serious?
Oh, Discord.
Hang on. I think I have one next to my car as well, so I guess you guys can see my car. But hang on, this might be not large enough for Discord. Where is it? I have so many pictures on my phone.
Also, anybody chilling, hanging out during this interview, I appreciate the shit out of each and every one. This is back when it was like brand new, and I
this
is really
got
fun.
It home.
I'm enjoying the hell out of this. So I hope
there we go.
Too.
You should have that one.
All right. Oh, okay. Hold on. Can I zoom in?
Yeah. There you go.
How do I?
And just to give everyone perspective, this was like, oh my God, this was almost 5 years ago. This was July 2017.
That's a sexy sass machine you got there.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was when it was literally brand new.
Oh, and it's chain driven.
It is chain driven. Yeah. So I have, if anyone really wants to, a belt. Yeah.
Or a shaft. I mean, because Hondas, they're just known for it. They're known for belts.
Well, shaft is actually not that common, to be honest with you.
Really?
I could not find a shaft for like a decent price. You're going to spend like 10 grand at least on a shaft trip, and it'll have like no features. So,
yeah. So is the shaft technology old technology? Are you saying that shaft is as prominent? Oh,
I think the problem with that, this is coming from an econ student's perspective. I think the problem with that is it's not saturated enough in terms of like production availability for something like that, because they've been making belts and chain driven ones for years.
Absolutely.
Obviously. And I think it would cost them too much for what it's worth right now to just change over to shaft. You know what I mean?
I mean, when it comes to shaft,
redesign the whole bike.
Well, with the shaft, you typically want to invest as much as possible if it's the better of the options, you know? So, I mean, I've driven a couple shafts in my day, and I would argue that the shifting was the biggest difference when it came to the shaft.
Really?
Yeah, because I drove a Honda Eagle, I think. Have you ever, or not Honda, though, you know those huge cruisers? They got the gold wings.
Okay.
And I want to say that one was shaft driven, but I'm not positive.
But that's like what, 20 grand though, or something like that?
Try 35. That thing has.
I'm sure it's got cruise control,
air conditioner, a butthole
a radio
tickler.
On it.
It got it literally almost anything that you could want. It has. I personally like. So Mr. Econ Major, I'll run this past you. So do you feel that the prominence, because that shaft technology has existed well into like the 70s, 80s.
Oh yeah, it's been
bikes.
around too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you think that because of its way higher entry level of cost for maintenance and repair, and just general understanding for maintenance and repair is why the shaft never really caught on as strong as you think the shaft would.
And I think, like I said earlier, it's so much easier to just produce a little belt or a chain and like just stick it on a engine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, compared to like a solid shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that's what the problem is that they just. I mean, I'm sure it'll happen eventually. You know, they're talking about electric bikes being everywhere too. So it's like,
yeah. Because when's Elon coming out with the motorcycle that goes 400 miles an hour? And, you know, can you imagine a Tesla motorcycle?
He's going to do that on Mars because the atmosphere is thinner. That's how he's going to pull it off.
Less wind resistance, right? So before you know it, we got the gyro bike from South Park. Just hopefully with a different seatbelt situation. So what? Now we have the bike. We have the Rebel, the white Rebel.
Yep.
Have we had any... Motor Mondays yet?
No. This was long before COVID, guys. Long before streaming.
Oh, wow.
Long before Ctown was on like the internet predominantly.
Before we were blessed with your experience.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. So you know, back then, that's right after I finished taking the class. I went to the DMV. I thought I would never have to go back to DMV ever again after I got my license. And I was just like,
that's
shit.
adorable.
I got to go back there and wait all day to get my motorcycle endorsement verified.
Every year, actually.
Yeah.
Every year you have to go back to DMV.
It was pain. I wanted to die in the DMV. I was just like, I'm a grown-ass man right now in the DMV, just trying to get my bike license. Last time I was there, I was 16.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, dude.
Oh.
So, yeah, it
grown
was...
up stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's... actually, that was a pretty good taste of the grown-up life there.
Absolutely.
Doing that. You know, I was basically... absolutely terrible at it. You know, like when you first drove a car on the road and you had like those feelings that like everybody around you was trying to kill you and like you were so afraid of the wheel and everything like that?
Two hands, white knuckled, right?
Yes.
Yep. Go ahead.
And all those feelings had returned to me when I took my bike out on the street for the very first time. I was absolutely terrified.
I was
like, oh my God, there's all these large objects that are going to crush me if they hit me.
Yeah.
Help. You know, like
I have no protection other than this really fancy looking jacket.
Yeah, actually, speaking about protection, so back then I was really, really irresponsible and bad. I had a helmet, but
with protection.
That's about it.
And shame on you, sir, because who gives a hell if you got a good skull if you have no skin on your body?
I was wearing sneakers and sweatshirts and, you know, all kinds of just, and that's going to lead up to, like, my accident 2 years ago. So we'll talk about that soon. But, yeah, I was, you know, because I just thought it would never happen to me. Like, oh, my God, I'm such a, you know, responsible driver. Like, I would never, you know, be popping wheelies and, you know, doing all this crazy stuff that would cause an accident.
Yeah.
And
that's not usually what causes the accidents, though.
And that's what I found out. Very soon.
I bet. How long did it take?
So I rode around for 3 years before an accident.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
And that's lucky though, honestly, based off of what I was wearing. I mean, like I said, I was wearing just regular clothes with a helmet, which was here's why I kind of did it. So I had just dropped thousands of dollars on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And then state law requires me to wear a helmet. So I'm like, well, now I got to drop another $100 on a helmet, and then I got to register it, and then I got to pay the fees to get the endorsement. So I just had no money.
So you bought the motorcycle before everything else?
Yes.
Nice, smart.
Yeah. I know.
Good. That's a good economic major decision. That was good.
Well, back then I had no idea I'd be majoring in econs. And then plus I had a girlfriend that was pestering me to take her out all the time.
You got to show off.
Interestingly enough, though, I surprised her with a passenger seat, and she
like a sidecar.
No, not a sidecar, like a passenger seat. Like go back to the picture.
On the what? I guess you can't say what they are. What we used to call them, huh?
Yeah, so mine, like the Honda Rebels, for whatever reason, do not come with one. You got to buy it. It costs extra. I guess that's their economic model.
Oh, yeah, you don't have one.
I do not. So right on the back of the fender, guys, behind the seat.
Right here, these,
Yeah, if you see two screws right there on the top, that's where you mount the seat.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's like $100. So I literally went to the dealer, bought it, brought it home one day, invited her over, took the cover off all dramatically, and showed it to her, and she was not down.
She wasn't into it, huh?
She was not into it.
Oh,
I was like,
what a
like,
slap in the
bro.
face.
Yeah, and the relationship did not last very long afterwards. She was not a huge fan of it in general, but then when I tried to like get her like involved.
Yeah,
She
it
was
pushed
not
her
feeling it.
away.
There were other reasons. There were other reasons too. Like she wasn't into the whole gamer C-Town
Yeah.
personality, I guess.
So
which is kind of
how long were y'all together?
Pretty much just for that summer.
Oh, so like kind of like
Yeah.
a Sandra D thing there.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
do
it
you-
was fun while it lasted, but you know,
Do you know that reference?
I guess kind of. I'll go with it.
Grease, Sandra D. No.
Oh.
You know, look at
that
me.
movie.
I'm Sandra D.
Yeah, like tell
That
me more,
movie.
tell me more.
Yeah, you know.
No, they made us watch it in
Summer
school when I was like
dreams.
10, and I was like, "What is this movie?
Yeah.
Why? No one even
It's
wears
all-
leather jackets anymore. What is this movie?"
Hey, speaking as somebody who wears a leather jacket every Monday, Mr. C-Town.
I know.
Okay, look who's
That
a
was-
T-bird
that was
all of a
pain.
sudden.
That was absolute pain that day. It was 95 degrees outside at 9 o'clock at night. That
But
was the worst idea I've ever had.
Hey, I'm you know, in the struggle comes the success. I feel.
Yes.
How do those Motor Mondays? Hold on, we're ahead of ourselves again. Okay,
We are. Yeah,
go
so
on.
Let's get back to.
Yeah.
So basically, when I finally felt a little more comfortable, you know, and not thinking every car around me was gonna kill me,
Yep.
you know, I just started taking it out on like weekend, you know, vibes.
As you
know,
should.
just riding around town for like an hour. You know, just
Yeah.
kind of easing my way in. And then I started taking it to work. I was commuting with it, and I was running errands with it. And, you know, that's when I really started to build up my ability and skill that you guys see today.
Yeah.
And then when I moved, I changed states. I moved down south 3 years ago.
Really?
That was an absolute pain getting that motorcycle because I had to load up my car.
Okay.
And then my dad put the bike in the back of his pickup truck and then towed a trailer with his truck.
Been
He
there.
wanted me to leave it. He wanted me to leave it there at his house. And I was like,
Really? That
hey,
seems
I
like a
just worry
weird
about
place
it.
to leave it.
and then just worry about it later. Oh yeah, just leave it here and just come get it, you know, later. And I'm like, no, we're gonna move everything else at once. Might as well take
Yeah.
the bike too.
So is the bike the main mode of transportation for you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So it became, so basically, after I started commuting and doing like errands with it, this was still like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Once that point happened, I basically only used my car if I absolutely essentially needed it. Or if it was like raining or if it was too cold or like whatever. I used to actually do grocery shopping on it, but then that had to stop. That
Is it
had
the
to stop
handlebar
because,
jiggle?
Yes, because the problem is I bought a can of spaghetti sauce one day. Okay. And I did not double bag it, and it was in a glass jar. And I put it around the handlebars, and as I was going home, I wasted a completely good can of spaghetti sauce. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna take my car from now on.
Not the Prego.
Yeah, the Prego was destroyed. It was. You know what was funny though? It like not a single splatter hit me or my bike. It was all over the road though.
You essentially dropped a landmine behind you. It's almost like you're being pursued by somebody. It's like, take this, bitches. And there goes the tomato sauce. Did you just keep going? Did you just?
Yeah, I just kept going. I'm not gonna like brake check the guy behind me. I'm sure the guy behind me, you know, was laughing, but yeah,
no.
I was like, you know what? Yeah.
Perfectly good Prego, popping tires.
Oh, actually, you know, actually, I was on the right-hand lane, so it actually just went into like side of the road. Fortunately, so no one's
Best case
tire was gonna hit it.
scenario.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so then, you know, I moved, and then after I moved down south, I rode it around for one more year, and the remaining year is when the accident happened. So let's talk about that
Let's
now.
hear. So you're in a
this
new
is still
environment.
Yes, this is still before Moto Monday, and this is
Okay.
also during the height of COVID when everything is shut down. Okay.
So like the first, what, like?
So April.
April.
April 2020.
Okay. You're in the
First
heart
week
of
of
it.
April.
Excuse
in the heart
me.
of it.
Dun dun dun.
Yes. So gas was $1.50 a gallon here. I have never seen it that low in my entire life.
I'm not gonna tell
And-
you the lowest I've seen it.
Yeah. So, so you have gas cheaper it's ever been for me, plus roads that are completely empty is an absolute motorcycle smorgasbord of dreams right there.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I had the entire city to myself
Oh man.
with cheap gas. I mean, you
Yep.
can't get better than that.
Nope.
And that was a once in a lifetime opportunity. I rode my bike all day, all around, everywhere, places I've never been before, places that usually have cars backed up.
Yeah.
You know,
oh,
all
that's
the way.
amazing.
Yeah.
I love that you did that.
It was such an experience. It was a great experience. And to top off that day, I hit an insanely gnarly pothole. And I was still just wearing my regular, you know, sweatshirt and pants and sneakers with my helmet. I had gloves at that point, though. I did invest in gloves.
Okay, good.
But I only invested in gloves to have a better grip on the throttle and clutch, not because I wanted to be more safe. Yes.
Did you ever think about working out your forearms?
No.
Oh, I mean, so just a great way to increase grip strength. Just.
it feels, I don't know. So have you done it on both?
Oh, hello? Ctown.
Are you still here?
There you are. Yeah, I heard. Have you ever done? And then your mouth just started moving. Go ahead.
Have you ever gone bare hand and glove, or just only bare hand when you ride?
I've done both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I typically like gloves more personally because
it's just smoother when you're like downshifting and you're letting off the throttle and everything, you know?
So my theory is because you know how you get all those like black stuff on your hands?
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
So what's happening is as you're throttling up and down, you're just kind of rubbing your hands and pulling that top layer of skin off. So that's why I wore the gloves.
Yep. Especially since my bike back then, you know, back in 2017 was brand new. That stuff was just shaving off and it was all over my hands like after I used it every time. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, I invested in gloves like I think a year after I bought it and had gloves since then.
But still sweatpants.
But still sweatpants, still sneakers, still sweatshirts.
Sweatpants.
You know.
Oh, like not even jeans, man.
Well, I was wearing jeans on the day of the crash, though.
Okay,
the
thank
jeans are destroyed.
goodness. Thank
goodness.
Yeah,
I just wore like whatever I felt like wearing. You know what I mean?
So suspenseful. You're keeping the people at the edge of their seat. So it's middle of the apocalypse, 2020.
Yes.
Ctown popping wheelies. One pothole, one man. What happens?
Actually, I think I might have a picture of the pothole that I took.
That son of a... We should fill that pothole in solidarity of your accident.
Actually. They did.
Good.
So,
good.
2 years later, though, they filled it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 years. And you know what they did after the crash and the cops and everything showed up?
What?
So
Ticketed
they
you.
They put a big ass orange sign that says bump right before you hit it. Like, oh yeah, that's a real big brain Giga Chad move right there.
Wonderful to see. Wonderful to see.
So anyways, so I'm just cruising. I'm heading home because I was, you know, around the city like all day.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm still looking for the picture.
No, you're good. I love that you can do both. I appreciate that a lot.
Did I just pass it? No, that's not it.
So
I'm just cruising. I'm, you know, I'm just cruising. You know, everything's good. Everything's fine. And then I didn't even see this thing because I was just going. It's a 45 mile zone. I'm not gonna like, you know, narrow in on like what the road looks like.
Huh. I mean, I would recommend doing that.
Well, no, coming up on this thing, like you wouldn't think it would like wreck you.
Oh, it's like an optical illusion kind of thing. Didn't look as...
Yeah, exactly. And by the time I realized, it was too late. So basically, what happened is I can't focus right now.
It's all
so
the
basically
nudes.
What happened? Yeah. It's all the Mary selfies. I'm just kidding.
Mary! Oh, contrary. Hey now. Okay.
So I'm just riding. I'm just cruising and everything. And all of a sudden, my bike just starts violently shaking.
Ooh.
And it cuts really hard to the left. And I go straight down. Oh my God, my mic. I keep hitting this thing. It's like in my way. I hit this all the time. The brim of my hat hits sometimes too. I don't know what to do about this. So I go straight down.
Yeah.
And I slide.
Oh man,
I have some really gnarly pictures of my feet and my arms and everything, but we're not going to show that on stream.
Yeah, we'll do the feet pics later.
So my shifter peg like impaled my foot. It went right through my shoe.
So you got squished.
Yeah, because basically my foot got squished between the road and the weight of my bike.
Oh man,
and it impaled my foot. I thought I broke it. I did not break any bones.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Actually. I had insane road rash. I could not walk for like a month because it just hurt so much, and there was nothing for them to stitch because like everything was just shaved off.
Did they have to scrub you? Did they have to scrub you?
Oh yeah, so what happened was, so after the crash was over and like I rolled a couple times and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs like, ah!
Do you know how far you slid?
Probably like 20, 30 feet.
Woo!
I mean, it was.
That's a good that's a good wreck, man. That's a good wreck.
Yeah. And I thought I got hit by a car because, like, you know, I have no idea what happened. And then I'm looking behind me and I'm like, oh my God, did that just do that? Like,
Oh,
and I'm like,
man.
I'm crawling over to my bike and I'm like trying to get out of the road. And it was like one of the most painful experiences I've ever had in my life. And so I take off my helmet and I reach for my water and just, you know, try to stay hydrated. And I called 911 and I kind of regret doing this, honestly, because
Cha-ching.
Insurance hit
Cha-ching.
me pretty hard.
Yeah.
And cha-ching as well.
Been there, baby. Yo,
yeah,
what's up,
I wasn't
Mateo?
ticketed. I was not ticketed, but you know, the police showed up in the ambulance and I started crying because I was just so embarrassed.
Dude. Been there.
And the paramedic was kind of cute, and I'm just bawling my eyes out in front of her, and she's like stitching me up and, you know, telling me to calm down. And
it's a lot of emotions. You got adrenaline going on. You're in pain.
Yep.
There's pretty lady.
And the cops show up, and the guy walks up to me. I'm crying in front of the cops, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry." You know, I do the whole Lando. They told me they fixed it. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. You know.
They told me they fixed it.
Yeah, and he just walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, just listen, man. No one's, you know, taking you to jail or anything. You're not in trouble." And he was just like, "Now listen to me. I gotta ask you these, all right?
Yeah.
But I'm not suggesting anything right now. But I gotta ask you these, man." And he goes, "Have you been drinking anything today?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Okay, have you taken any kind of drugs? And be honest with me, man. Have you taken anything today?" And I'm like, "No, sir. I promise you, I'll breathalyze right now."
Yeah.
And they breathalyzed me and everything.
Oh, shit.
They, you know, had nothing on me. I wasn't taking drugs or drinking or whatever. They gotta, you know, they gotta make sure.
No fun. Just kidding.
You know, it was kind of intimidating too. I bet.
Oh my God, I bet. You're looking down the barrel of the government, man. It's an intimidating thing.
I mean, they didn't make me walk the line because I couldn't walk, obviously. So
that'd be messed up.
Know,
Oh, you stumbled.
It would be pretty messed
I
up.
had an impaled foot. What do you mean I stumbled? No kidding, I stumbled. I stumbled before the bike.
So they took me to the hospital, and I have health insurance and everything. You just like, I have the system where like you have the copay, and then usually within almost all common circumstances, you're taken care of if you need surgery or like whatever.
Just pay
so
a
we
copay.
went and took x-rays and made sure nothing was broken. Nothing's broken. You know, that's obviously a positive. They're cleaning me up. All the nurses are, you know, wiping all the blood off of all my skin and everything. Sponge bath, basically. Yeah. You know, they gauzed me up everywhere. So I have scars on this arm, this arm.
Damn.
My left knee and my left foot.
Yeah. That's
and
tough,
they are
brother.
still healing.
Really?
Especially on my knee and my foot. Yes, they're still healing. They were purple-ish for like the last year, and now they're starting to like go into like that more tannish brown skin looking.
Wow. Did you have to do any type of grafts, or did they just road rash scrub you and
they just scrubbed me, and they put on that alcohol that makes it sting and burn, and I was like, ah.
Hey, trust me, it's a lot better than getting it. I've had to scrub people, and I've been scrubbed doing that, and I tell you, if you miss one pebble, you could cause a whole infection that could make a person have to like lose
they had
their
to make sure I was not infected
Awful.
anywhere. Yeah. Yep. So, and then this was also pretty hairy because I'm like in a hospital like during COVID.
Yeah.
So.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that.
You know what
so
I mean?
you crashed your bike. I'm just catching up. You crashed your bike, wicked road rash, and now you're in a hospital with
during the height of COVID.
During like the pandemic. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. How long were you in the hospital?
I wasn't there for that long though. I was probably there for about 4 or 5 hours, and I was mostly just waiting to get helped because they like rushed me to the ER because they thought my foot was broken. I had a lot of blood like oozing out of my foot.
Did they neck you? Did they put you in the collar?
No.
They didn't? No. Damn.
Because I was wearing a helmet and I could move my head around fine and everything. So, you know.
I mean,
yeah.
You can move your head around real fine when you break your neck too.
Well, I was conscious the whole time too. I never passed out or anything.
Yeah.
So I just needed help. But
help me.
This is so, and it was really crazy being there because I mean everyone's wearing masks and like they got all this like blocked off, like you know what I mean?
Quarantine
and I just wanted to get as soon as the X-rays were done and I was cleaned up, I just wanted to get the F out of there.
Absolutely.
I didn't want to get infected. I mean, like, you know,
it's a scary time. Especially back then, people didn't know nearly what they know now.
No one had any idea.
There's no education yet. It was wild.
Yep.
Man, so
I
what'd you
lasted
say?
about
I know
4 or
I
5
asked.
hours.
There you go, 4 or 5 hours. Okay.
Yeah. So I was there for about 4 or 5 hours, and then I'm calling my cousins who live in town as well, and believe me, it was embarrassing enough to, break this news to people I didn't even meet before, like the paramedic and the cop.
Oh yeah.
But to tell a family member what happened to me, and I need to be picked up from the hospital, is a whole different thing I'm still embarrassed about.
Really? Why do you feel you were embarrassed about an accident? Do you feel like you did something wrong that would have made it avoidable? Minus your safety gear.
If I was wearing the safety gear I have right now, it probably would not have been as severe.
Could you afford or acquire that safety gear at that time without a huge detriment to your life?
Well, with the stimulus check, in theory, yes.
But, hey, man, it's either rims or safety gear, right? So pick one or the other.
But actually, that stimulus check came in really clutch for the repairs on the bike.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. So
now let's talk about the damage to the bike, since now I'm...
the poor bike. The damage.
So I needed a new gas tank. Because
the
way it fell down, the handlebars twisted so hard, and it got pinched so hard with the force on the road, it dented the shit out of the gas tank.
Nice.
So there's a big dent in the gas tank that's also leaking gasoline, by the way. So
punctured.
It's no good.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's $500 by itself to order an OEM gas tank from the factory. I needed a new shifter pedal because that one, my body and the road, bented the shit out of that. And then of course the handlebars had to be replaced too because they, got all like bent and everything. And once you try to bend back metal, it's not as strong anymore.
Yeah, and depending on what it is, so you didn't bend your forks at all?
No, the forks are straight solid.
That surprises me with the handlebars being as jacked as they were.
Yep.
Interesting.
And you know what? I've noticed, you probably can't tell on the pictures I send you, but I noticed that like the handlebars are not like welded to the frame. They're like bolted in there.
Yeah,
and they probably do that for a reason. So like if that happens, the handlebars go first instead of the forks.
Other than like really custom ape hanger type style handlebars, almost every single handlebar will be held in through that clamp system.
Yep.
It's for it's for adjustment purposes for the rider, because you actually should adjust the bike to your personal length of things.
Right.
But then two, like you said, for the accident. Because think about if you had an immovable piece of steel that was part of the frame, you crash your bike, and now your hand or body is pinched in your handlebars.
Oh, yeah.
And it's welded instead of... So it just... Yeah, it's... Oh, that's crazy, though. So you replaced
you guys have seen...
Go ahead.
Yeah, you guys have seen my gloves, right? So they have, like, hardened, like, curved knuckles on them.
Yep. I had those, the carbon fiber.
Yes, it looked like somebody took, like, an angle grinder and, like, flattened them out.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
So now imagine that would have just been your knuckles.
I know. That's
amazing. What a huge freaking, like, lucky that was. Because do you think you would have... Was there a chance that you wouldn't have ridden without your gloves that day? Or was that pretty commonplace for you?
No, at that point, I was, I will die on this hill with gloves because, like, I just need it for the grip on the bike. I just...
Gotcha.
Like, I can't barehand it anymore. Like, now that I've been doing it for so long, it's just so much more comfortable.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So at that point, I was dead set on gloves or I'm not riding.
So you're using the stimulus check to fix the bike.
Yes. Which basically covered mostly the cost of the repair. But also, what's really messed up is that the ambulance ride to the hospital from the crash site was $400 by itself.
Oh, that's nothing. You know how much my ambulance ride was when I crashed?
What?
It was $11,000.
How far was it from
I crashed in the mountains, and it was probably 35 minutes away. And I didn't have insurance. I did, but my insurance actually dropped me. Yeah. My insurance dropped me due to some bullshit. And they dropped me after I crashed my bike.
Okay.
So, but it was expensive. So it was $400. I'll trade you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, $400 to go like 10 minutes down the road, though. I feel like I kind of got
10 minutes?
A little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm in the city. Them good drugs, though?
Well, they eventually, yes.
Yeah.
And that lasted for a couple hours. Pretty good,
Yeah.
And so the reason why I regret calling 911 is because I got my bike like off the roadway, so cars wouldn't hit anymore. And my insurance hit me hard. I wasn't gonna die. I wasn't, I needed to get cleaned up, and I could have just, gotten a ride to the hospital and just say, hey,
you
can
didn't
guys just
know?
clean
You're
me
not
up?
a doctor.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I thought my foot was broken, but like after the fact, knowing, I feel like I could have just like skirted that entire process.
So as much as I believe people should go to the hospital when they need to, which a car crash is a good thing, but I do really love to hear that retrospect is very important, because the truth is, most of the time, you don't need to go to the hospital. They're just going to put basically a medical bandage on you and send you home. Now, I'm not saying that wasn't your case, but hindsight's...
Yeah, a lot of people do that, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, so, but just after knowing the fact that nothing was broken, and I mean, honestly, my cousin would probably feel down just to clean me up in the freaking shower. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't anything that was like hospital essential, like surgery. You know what I mean?
Yep. And so, I do know, because I've been there.
Yeah, like anyone could have done that, like at their house in a bathtub.
Yep.
So it's like, and then, my insurance went up slightly. Because of that, because it was a self-reported like insurance incident, and I tried to sue the city for the pothole, which failed miserably. I couldn't find a lawyer to take the case because he didn't want to.
Who are you gonna sue? Oh, the city for the pothole?
Yeah, the city for the pothole. For causing the crash, and no one wanted to take the case.
Oh, I'm sure. You don't.
And I wasn't gonna do that by myself. I have never been in a courtroom before.
No,
that kind of thing.
You would have lost a lot, unfortunately. As much as I agree with you, because the whole idea is, hey, city, what's your job? Don't
maintain it. Yeah.
So if I didn't, as a property owner, if I didn't maintain my property, would you intervene, and would I be held legally and liable for my? I would. So why can't we hold the city against you, or hold that shit against city? Because they're the bosses.
Like, where are my taxes? Where are my tax dollars going? You know what I mean?
For real. It's don't take them if you can't make the roads nice. I don't like this. We do it because we can type situation. But that's a whole different show.
Oh,
that's a whole different show.
Yep. So, I called up my cousins. They picked me up, brought me home. They brought me a shitload of food the next day.
Oh, nice.
Because they felt so bad for me. And then I couldn't go to class because I just couldn't walk. And I emailed all my professors, which was another embarrassing thing to emailing all my professors saying, hey, I can still do the homework and everything, but I just can't go to class for like a couple days because this happened to me and I can't walk right now.
It's a big deal.
It hurts too much.
Yeah.
So I was pretty much down for the count for about a month, which was fine because they had to order in an OEM gas tank, which is not a very common part for a dealer to get.
Yeah.
So my bike pretty much sat at the shop for like 3 weeks.
Oh, you had them fix it.
Yes, I went to a dealer. Yeah, there was no way I was capable of fixing this myself because first of all,
Ctown, you're so smart.
But my body was like.
Oh, that's
injured.
right. Okay, good. Well, okay, good point. So while you're healing, it was getting repaired.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I wanted the repair fixed. And the healing to be done like around the same time. You know what I mean?
Yep, I'm tracking.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what's it called? I had to get a tow truck to tow it from the crash site because they left it there in a parking lot.
Oh yeah, and they will.
Yep. And the tow truck showed up, and that cost me like $200 just to bring it to the dealer. Because not all tow companies can take motorcycles because they gotta have the ramp thing.
Yep.
They can't just put it on a hitch. It's it's not obviously gonna work.
You know anybody with a truck?
I do not.
Oh, you moved. So you're out of state.
Yeah.
That's
my dad
right.
would have, but he lives hundreds of miles from
Absolutely.
me,
Okay.
And
so you're being strong, independent, Ctown.
Yes, actually breaking the news to him and my grandfather. And my grandfather used to ride motorcycles too when he was my age. So breaking the news to him and my grandfather as well was just absolutely devastating for me. It was
just embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever feel the same about me.
Really?
To be honest with you.
Did they tell you that?
They didn't tell me that. They weren't happy it happened. They were happy I was okay and everything.
Yeah.
They just weren't like happy with me, if you know what I mean.
So
they were just disappointed. Yeah.
But were they disappointed in the crash, or were they disappointed?
Yeah,
than
like
you.
I mean, my dad was kind of hinting at me to get rid of it and just not do it anymore. And I was like, absolutely hell no. I have invested thousands of dollars of my life savings.
Awesome.
This. I mean, this is just a learning experience. I'm gonna do what I can from it.
Absolutely.
So, after all that happened, and I was able to walk again, and I had to change a gauze pad on my knee and my foot day.
Really?
Which was painful. Yeah, because I could see like the inside of my foot. I mean,
that is crazy.
And I got to put on clothes all by myself and shower.
I think your noise gate is cutting you off.
My noise gate?
Yeah, so either your mic's too far away or it's only, you can tell when it is cutting it off. There you go.
There we go.
Sorry, brother.
Just bring it a little bit closer.
Yeah.
I like to keep it a little bit far away because then
for sure.
my hat starts hitting it and then, yeah.
You were just the very end of it. You were just like, when you said foot, it would be like foot.
Oh, yeah, so I have to change a gauze pad out of my foot and my knee every day. And I could see the inside of my foot.
Yeah.
And then I got to shower.
Isn't that exciting though?
Yeah. Well,
fascinating.
It was painful to wear socks because anything besides the gauze pad that had pressure, and socks don't have that much pressure, but they're tight around your foot. Any kind of pressure, around my foot was pure pain. I couldn't wear regular shoes. I had to wear flip flops.
Oh dang! Yeah.
For a month.
So you could walk though, you were walking.
So after 3 days, I could walk on my own, but it would hurt, and I would have to just go slow. I felt I was crippled, basically. I would be that guy using the railing on a 2-step staircase. Basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you were the old guy.
It was embarrassing to go out in public and
interesting. So embarrassed by an accident.
Yeah.
Would you say you're a prideful man, Ctown?
I have my moments.
Yeah. Would you say you're prideful to a detriment?
Possibly.
Interesting. I'm not here to judge. I just comment on things I see, brother.
Yeah.
You have a lot of shame for something that you are doing by yourself, very successfully, completely independent, and very common for most people who have very similar circumstances to do the complete opposite. So not only are you doing something that's impressive and respectable, you're also doing the harder path that most people don't think to choose. So in terms of being ashamed of any of it, minus the fact that you should have swerved faster, I just don't think you have anything to be embarrassed about.
So here's the problem, though.
People crash motorcycles, homie, all the time.
Yeah, I know. But here's the problem with swerving to avoid that pothole. I would have gone in the other lane of traffic, and then I would have got hit by a car.
So you're telling me you also made the best decision at the time that you could have made?
Yes.
Interesting.
I just let it happen because I did not want to get hit by a car. Because that will total my bike and potentially kill me.
Absolutely. So, one of these days you'll have to forgive yourself for doing everything right.
I think at this point I have, because after I fully recovered and everything like that, I made upgrades to my gear.
Yeah.
So some of you guys have seen the jackets before. Actually, I think one of them's hanging right there on the coat rack right there.
Is that a mesh one or is that a?
No, that's actually
the leather.
I'll just grab
yeah, just grab her.
Yeah.
Let's see that cheeks. Or wait, what? Oh, 5'9". Look at him go.
Okay, so this one was first.
All right, what do we got here?
So this is sort of like my early spring, late fall jacket.
Those elbow pads?
This
I'm looking for the protection.
Yeah, so we got CE racing armor in the pads. This was $150 for this jacket.
Absolutely.
So the elbows and shoulders, we got the racing armor.
Yep.
Okay. And then I started out with this. This was my first armored jacket, and I didn't really know what I was going for. I just need something that was
protection.
All around, wear it on almost any day of the year.
Yep.
Is it now mesh? This is my a little bit of it is, but it's more of that.
I'm trying to see the fabric.
That windbreaker type material.
Okay, so polyester.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a little bit of mesh on the where you would sweat kind of deal.
The air vents, the pits, the tits, and
I would.
Oh, that's
especially living here. I would not wear this jacket today because it's too hot.
Yeah.
And that's when I found this. So this is what I'm
leather daddy
pretty much wearing. This is way more better than leather. This is a fully ventilated.
Yep.
But
I
also armored everywhere jacket. You know how hard it is to find and also like have a decent price on a jacket that has all this armor, but also like not gonna make you pass out at a red light when it's 95 degrees outside.
Extremely difficult.
Yeah. So this jacket was $300. And I was just like, you know what? I do not want to go through the same thing when I did when I crashed, so I am dumping the money. I don't care.
Well, exactly. What's your life worth to you?
Yep.
Hopefully a lot more than 300.
And then I also wear some steel toe shoes as well to avoid any potential foot injuries again.
Yep.
So if the peg ever hits my foot again, it'll just hit the steel toe instead of my foot.
So where in the foot did it hit you? Because the steel toe only goes back like 2 inches or an inch and a half.
It's like right next to like my big toe.
Hey, look at us. We're toe buddies. So I crashed a dirt bike and I had the clutch handle break off and it ripped off a chunk of my big toe. Big ass chunk of it. Went straight through my cowboy boot, straight through my toe, and then pulled it out. Yo, Derpy, what's up? I pulled it out and then basically they just kind of glued my meat of my toe back together. And there you go.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
they
cowboy boots.
They didn't stitch it?
No, dude, this was a long time ago. This was a long time ago. Because it was kind of meat, like chunky, right? So you could throw in like super glue and then, you only went to the hospital when you needed to.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But it was awful. It hurt so bad. Same deal. Turned purple, turned brown, took 6-8 months. It was crazy. The road rash, though.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. So yeah, after I made all these upgrades, I rode after my bike was repaired. I rode it around for like the rest of the year. And then I said to myself, okay, I want to upgrade, but I also like recently had an accident, so I'm not doing anything until I'm ready.
Or get the bike back under you. Feel comfortable again.
Yeah, and like I would kind of like wake up in the middle of the night and just have like my heart be racing from like the feelings I had from the crash sometimes, and like all that adrenaline rush. Yeah.
Interesting. Do you ever get that when you ride around? Like, do you ever get kind of that like stomach feeling? Yeah.
Not the stomach feeling, but like the just the heart rate going up, and you're just like, oh yeah, let's go, baby. Like the good part about it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I did that all the time on Moto Monday. And it took me a couple months to sort of ease back into what I was doing before the crash. So like I would like the very first time I took it back out after the crash, I was out for like 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, I need to take a break. I can't keep going right now. Yeah.
Was it, do you feel like you were having about to have panic attack maybe?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, exactly.
So just anxiety. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, not
I
awesome,
just had too much.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. I just had too much anxiety. I just wasn't confident anymore. Oh my God, I suck. I had a freaking pothole kick my ass. You know what I mean? I just like,
so beating yourself up about it.
Yeah. So it just took me a really long time to sort of get to the point where we are now. And, one day I decided, you know what? Let's take some pictures and put this thing on Craigslist and let's upgrade. Because I'm ready for it. And that was last year.
How long did it take you to get used to it? Like when did you ride, and then after the ride you're like, oh, I'm good. I felt like I didn't feel
like
it
a month.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Month, yeah.
Good for you for sticking with it,
I did like the same baby steps I did when I first got it. So like, 20 minutes at a time, and then, okay, all day, Sunday day. And then, okay, let's commute with it again. Let's, use the hell out of it again.
I love it.
So I kind of just eased myself back into where I was before the crash.
Okay. And then you said trade-in.
And then
happened.
I said one day, well, we're not doing a trade-in because you get whacked on the trade-ins.
True. Very true.
So I wanted to sell it myself and get as much money as I can back.
How'd you do?
Which I did. I bid pretty good. I sold it for, so it was $4,400 brand new. I got it for 36.
Dude, that ain't bad.
Nope, not bad at all. And that's because, besides crashing it, I mean, it was my baby. My current one still is.
Yeah.
And I changed oil when I'm supposed to. I cleaned the chain when I'm supposed to. I, hand wash it, you know, just to keep it, you know, looking good and
You
everything
love
like that.
it.
I took care of that thing, like down to a T.
Yeah.
So I think that helped me a lot for reselling it, because like when the guy showed up, he was upgrading from some junk Suzuki from like the 80s that like was barely running. And he's just like, dude, I just need to buy something that works, man. Like, help me out. And you know, I let him take it like around a lap at my apartment complex to try it out, and his was carbureted, and I'm just like, so how do you start this? And I'm like, turn the key and press the button. And he tried it, and he's like, oh my god. And I'm like, yeah.
So do you think that carbureted and kickstart are one and they have to be together?
Not necessarily. I've seen bikes that are both, and I've seen bikes that's like only carbureted, but there's no Kickstarter. You still have to press the button though. It's weird.
Well, yeah, because the Kickstarter is just your ignition, so that's either your button or your
they're
boot.
still making dirt bikes though that are like fully carbureted.
Oh, because it's
which
the
is
power.
crazy.
The power is no comparison. Because the biggest drawback for carbureted is it's not as efficient as fuel efficiency, right? As fuel injected. But ain't nothing more powerful than a good old-fashioned, 4-barrel carburetor, brother. I tell you right now. All right, you can start a carburetor with electric start all day. All right.
Oh my God.
So we'll go down the carburetor path another day, but you're missing out. Okay, this carburetor judgment, I don't appreciate it. Okay.
We'll do Ctown and Marcus carburetors versus fuel injection.
Well,
one day.
my bike is carbureted, young man. So I have a V-Star that's carbureted. And it's actually, is it shaft driven? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've ridden it. But that thing runs up just fine with a button. I push that button, vroom, vroom, baby. Maybe I got to put a little starter fluid in it every now and then.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I got to give it a little push start here and there, okay? But you better believe I push that button and it starts up almost always, okay? So I don't want to hear it. All right, so we got a new bike. You upgraded Kawasaki guy. We're still not at Motor Monday.
So yeah, we're still not there yet. So we sold him the bike. He paid me in cash and everything. $100 bills checked out. They got the the blue strip on them that they're using nowadays. So everything was it. Yeah. Transferred over the title to him.
Do you a bill of sale?
Yep, bill of sale, all that stuff. I did everything right.
Good job.
And then I go to the dealer, and this was also kind of during like the tail end of COVID still, because it's last year.
Okay.
And I mean, there's still companies having these problems, but like the supply chain back then was all messed up. I mean, Honda's coming from overseas.
Absolutely.
So I had to drive an hour to a dealer that had only one Honda Rebel 500 left in stock.
Wow.
Like no one else in the entire area had it.
No way, really?
And I was set on that bike. I didn't want another bike. I wanted because the problem with like upgrading to like a Harley from what I had is that like it's a completely different motorcycle. It's like everything on it's different, and all my tools and everything, like all my socket sizes, everything was working
because you got a Honda
for my so it just made more sense to just get a bigger engine on like a similar, very, very similar motorcycle.
Yeah, I like the logic.
So it's 500 cc's twin cylinder for like $6,000. I mean, you can't go wrong, So
yeah.
I went to the dealer an hour.
What year was it?
It was 2020.
Yeah, so you're getting a brand new bike.
Yeah, so, well, it wasn't used. It was a 2020 model, but it was what they had left over from the previous year.
Yeah,
and that's the only reason why they had it. So they had no 2021 model.
Yeah.
And I bought this so it was last February.
Okay.
That's when I bought it. So I go to the dealer. Actually, the guy working there, the salesman, looks just like Luke Combs. I swear to God, he does.
The country singer?
Yes, the long
really? Ice cold beer never broke my heart. So
just like him.
We only know about that damn song because of you, Ctown.
Yeah,
it is an integral part of my wife and I's life. So you are always and forever associated with that song, just so you know.
That song actually, that's so special to me because it's the last like insane country hit before COVID.
Really? So it
yes, because it came out in 2019. That's like that was a super awesome year for me.
Hell yeah.
Like because I moved down south and I started school, and it's that was just a fireball year. It
was the rise before the COVID hit. The fall,
pretty much.
really.
Yes.
The last time you were on the top.
Exactly.
Wild.
So I go to the dealer, tell them exactly what I want, and they're like, oh yeah, you're the guy that called early. Yeah. So I check it out and everything, and I'm like, wow, this is like so similar to what I had before. Oh, what you had before? Oh, I had the Rebel 300. I'm like, oh yeah, man, this is gonna be like cakewalk for you. You're just getting more power. That's all it is. Yeah. And there were a couple extra features though, because we're talking a 2017 model, and now we're going to 2020. In 3 years, they actually made a lot of changes to the Rebels. One of them is a slipper clutch, which I don't know if you know what that is, but basically
never heard of the term. Not the term, no. I've never
probably
heard
have
of
it on your
slipper
you probably have
clutch.
it on your bike though. So basically, like when you're downshifting and you're still pushing a lot of RPMs.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You're just kind of like coasting, and then you downshift and there's just big like clunk. You know what I mean?
If you do it wrong, yeah.
Yeah. So that slipper clutch basically prevents that from happening.
It stops the bad shifting.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So there shouldn't be a clunk when you downshift, just so you know.
No, there's not.
Okay.
There's not at all.
No,
on my new
like
bike, there's not.
even without the fancy technology, there shouldn't be.
Well,
you just kind of,
back then I was still kind of not as veteran experienced, so I would let it slip a couple times.
If you had a carburetor, you wouldn't have been dropping gears like
that. Okay, all right.
All right, so they allow you to slam your gears. Got it. So you got your new bike. Are you streaming yet? Are you a streamer at this point?
No, I'm not. And this was not all blacked out yet. So due to the fact the supply was so limited, I had to deal with having a blue motorcycle.
You had to
like
deal
the gas
with it.
tank used to be blue.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted all black. Like I knew that going. I wanted all black. I wanted an all blacked out, badass looking motorcycle.
Okay, so I'm looking at it right now.
But I couldn't find one.
Is it?
And yeah.
What was black? What was blue?
Yeah, the gas tank was blue. I think I might have a picture when it was blue. Hang on. Let me see. It might have been when I was at the dealer and I took the picture of it. And maybe? It was like it was a nice blue. I mean, I'll give them that, but I just wanted black.
It was a nice blue.
I just, I'm not, hating on the color or anything.
Yeah,
but yeah, there you go, guys. So there's the current Rebel 500. And yeah, I had it painted, and I had to take it off. And you have no idea how many different connections there are from that gas tank to the engine.
Yes, I do.
Well, it was not fun. I will say that.
Good for you.
A lot of that stuff fits on there tight.
Dude, that's so much learning that you got to do. As much as that sucks, but that's huge deal.
Well, the guy told me the labor would be hundreds of dollars alone if I didn't take it off. It would be so much easier for them just to paint the tank, So, I took it off.
Because you got to take your seat off, right?
Yep.
You got a bolt probably right there.
I also took the side panels off too.
Yeah, that's a good call.
To get in there.
So then let's see here.
And then I had to get some needle nose pliers to pull the tubes out of there too and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really I don't know how to do it at the factory. They must have some kind of special machine to just do it perfectly, because that was not easy.
It's when you put it in.
I would never do it again. Never in my life. I would never do it again. This thing is staying black.
Oh no, I think it's good. Again. Listen, the more you do stuff, the less you feel that it's this big ass imposition. And trust me, as much as the first time you did that gas tank, it was awful. I promise you, save yourself $200. You're smart. You're capable. You don't need to be paying money for people to unscrew a bolt. You can do that. You can take off bolts, use needle nose. You're a smart boy.
They weren't going to take it off. They were going to tape everything off so the paint wouldn't get on the rest of the frame. That's what they were going to do.
Wait,
you know what I mean? They were going to cover. Yeah, they painted it.
Ah, so those lazy bitches.
So they told me either A, I take it off and give it to them so they can paint it that way, or B, they're going to spend 5 hours
and do it wrong,
covering every inch around the bike besides the gas tank.
This was the dealership?
No, this was like a custom car place I brought it to.
Don't ever go back to them. They ripped you off.
Why? They did a nice job.
They could do a good job and still rip you off.
I paid $200 to get
any motorcycle person would, because you did all the labor. Any motorcycle person could take a motorcycle tank off in 5 minutes. That is absolutely ridiculous. And they said that they had to tape all of this shit when they could just take the tank off. I'm not making you feel like you got ripped off, but as somebody who's taken off a copious amount of tanks on motorcycles, no, sir.
Well, they mainly did cars, so that's
and there you go.
Why.
There you go. See,
but,
so anyway,
I mean, it was either ordered a
New
OEM
tank.
black gas tank, which I already know how much that costs. That's double of what I paid. So, you know.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm now and then I'm stuck with an extra gas tank.
Well, you'd
so it's
probably
like-
sell the blue one.
Hopefully someone buys it. I don't know. I wasn't even gonna think about that.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know what? I'll take it off.
Do it.
Deal with it. Paint it. $200. All right, thanks.
Done.
And I had it. And as you can see, I obviously had it match the
Absolutely.
rest of the frame. You know.
They color
So,
matched.
yeah.
So did you? Everything else was black except the tank.
Yes.
Really? How interesting.
Yep. It was kind of weird to me too.
That
and
is
now
weird.
what they're doing, if you go on the websites, now what they're doing is the gas tank and the rear fender to kind of like, you know, complement the rest of it. Which I think is cool.
Kind of bring it through.
Yeah, because it is kind of weird to just only paint one part, one color, and the
part.
rest of it's black.
Especially if it's just a solid color. A lot of times you'll see like custom gas tanks as completely different than everything else because it's unique and like amazing, but just a single offset color. That seems like
So
the
those
first
are like
person. Seems like that blue one was the replacement for the black one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
so
what I mean?
those are what the 2022 models are on now.
Interesting.
And you know what's crazy is that they've even come out with a new model now. I think since last year, the Honda Rebel 1100.
It's almost like one every year.
It is. That's potentially the next one.
Really?
After this current one, but
Big
I'm not
boy.
even thinking about it.
1000cc. You ever
I
ridden a
might
bike
go to
that
like
big?
an Iron 883. I thought about the Street 750 as my next
Yeah.
one, but
What's
I
the
am not
biggest
even
bike?
thinking about that.
What's the biggest bike
Yeah.
you've driven?
Mine.
500 cc's is the biggest bike you've ever. Yeah.
Yep.
Road.
I've sat on bigger ones, but I never like drove
That's
them.
different. Trust me. So the
Yeah.
first time you ever
Oh, I know
go-
it's different.
Dude,
yeah.
you'll blow you off the bike, those damn things.
Yeah.
Because when I had
When you
my
got, like-
R6, that thing had more ass than Oprah. I mean, it's
Well, you
unbelievable.
got like 4 cylinders on it alone, so the cylinders.
Yeah.
You know?
That thing was so
So-
fast. It was unbelievable, man. It was hard enough just to keep the front wheel on the road, and that's a 600. So it was an absolute mess. I didn't know this would be like a big old motorcycle talk. I love it though, because you're talking to a guy who knows motorcycles, man. But
Yeah,
I tell you, I'm
in
not
the
letting you get
last,
away without telling me about this Motorcycle Monday. What? So we got the paint. Now it's painted, right?
So now we're back in line with like my streaming channel growing with Chronic and
Yep.
you know, just everybody in general.
Back to present.
And you know, I'm looking at everybody like in our little group and like everyone's just streaming the same game, and you know, that's cool and everything, but like, you know, I want to stand out in the crowd.
As you should.
know?
As you
Yeah.
should. Was that
And
a
I gotta
natural
go-
thing, or was that something you did because
Oh, it was
you're
natural.
a streamer?
It was 100%
you
natural.
You just
C-Town
knew it.
stand out in a crowd.
You knew it. I love it.
100%.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got a GoPro for Christmas. You know, before I bought my bike,
Yep.
the new one. And you know, I bought a you know, like the mounts that you can put on your helmet and stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh yeah, let's start making some like YouTube videos
Yeah.
and like riding around and like, you know, doing crazy shit on them or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I wonder if I can like stream from this thing. Let me try it. And after doing a little bit of research, you can, but you have to be constantly connected to Wi-Fi. And I was like,
Yes.
okay, well, that's obviously not possible for what I'm doing.
That was my problem with the GoPro.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then I was just like, well, what if I just take my phone and just mount it on my helmet and then stream? 5-head big brain.
Yeah. Was it?
So yeah, so I downloaded the Twitch, you know, app on my phone and like tried it, and I'm like, oh my god, this works.
Did it work well? Like any problems? Any problems?
So I used to mount the phone to my chest.
Oh,
and
okay.
There's
Like with
probably
a
clips of
chesty
it on my
mount?
channel.
Yeah.
There's the camera angle was like terrible. Like
Yeah.
the gas tank was like the bottom half of the screen.
So they
looked
weren't
awful.
getting like the first person perspective. You could tell.
Yeah, you weren't getting what you were getting now.
Yep.
So I
How
had
long
to
did
like
you do that
buy, probably like a couple months.
Oh wow. And consistently, like on Monday, or
Yes.
yeah, Mondays.
Yeah, so Moto Monday officially started April 2021.
Yeah.
Actually, a year after I crashed, believe it or not, which is crazy.
Dang. On purpose
So I
or on
go-
accident?
On purpose,
Yeah.
kind of. I mean, because the weather by then was
Fair
to
enough.
go.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of just fell into
Through
place
the
correctly.
sands of
but-
time, a year
Yeah.
had passed.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? So with that in mind, and I, people are watching me.
You want to
and
stand
actually,
out.
I think there is a clip on there with the old gas tank on there too before I painted it.
The blue boy, huh?
Yeah, the blue boy's on there.
Interesting.
But very soon afterwards, I did get it black. But yeah,
So you talk about the chesty. You're talking about your chest mount.
So
and
the
then
chest
your phone worked.
And then there's the other issue, which is audio.
Yes.
Because with wind and engine noise is kind of hard, especially for headphone users on Twitch. It's kind of hard for them to keep watching because it's not the greatest sounding thing in the world.
Have you? Do you have like a lav mic? One of those little guys?
Actually, is it behind me? It actually is. Hang on. So I wasn't doing this at first. I was just whatever my phone was picking up is what you got. But we started doing more research and delving into more improvements. So hang on, let me get
I'm ready.
that.
I'm ready. Tell me about it. So again, people, I love this. I know it's supposed to be Streamer Mastermind, but we're getting there. There's a lot of story that happens before the streaming happens, right? And this, if you're not getting value from this, you're crazy. We're learning shit the whole damn time. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah.
This is great, man. I appreciate your time in this. This is a big deal to me. I appreciate it.
So, this is what I hook up my phone to right here.
Okay. So it looks like one of those guys that you'd put on your, like your air freshener, but a hardy one.
But it's like got a GoPro.
Oh, I see it. It does have a GoPro. Yeah. So
and
do you
then,
do the sticky mount from the GoPro?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I was using those, but every helmet is a different shape and everything. And I found this website that makes 3D printed GoPro mounts that are specific for every single common model out motorcycle. So you go on there, you type in your model number and everything and brand and all that stuff, and it will give you the exact shape that fits around the chin part of the helmet.
Are you kidding? What's the name of that? I would love to see that.
I think it's called, let me see, it might be on my bookmarks here.
That is cool as hell.
I think it's called chinmounts.com. I'm pretty sure that's what the website is.
I've been to chinmounts.org, and that's not adult friendly, okay? So, I'll have to Google them. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
and then what we have to do
chin.
is and actually I'm upgrading my mic again soon because I found out there's 2 different types of microphones. So this right here, it's kind of got that bendy whatever.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to run a lav mic from my phone to my helmet, because then the cord will just be flapping around in the wind and shit.
Not as bad as you think, because I've actually done stuff similar.
Oh, really?
It's really not that bad, man. So the only hard part about the cords is when you have to initially put your helmet on. That is the hardest part.
Okay.
Once your helmet's on, you take your finger, you put it in your head, you put it in your thing, and then the microphone, if it was me, I would just put it in my cheek. And then it would be sitting right here in your helmet. It would have the wind thing on, so it would have a little squish buffer. And I guarantee you, we would hear you so well. And with your mask closed, there'd be almost no road noise or wind noise.
Gotcha. So where this sits in my helmet, it is right next to the cheek pads.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have it the problem is that this microphone isn't omnidirectional. So it's picking up sound from
Gotcha.
360 degrees.
Gotcha.
So when my voice bounces off the interior walls of my helmet, that's why you're hearing that
really interesting
okay quality.
Yeah.
So this mic right here is a cardioid. That's why this mic sounds good. And you've got an XLR, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
right?
I got the Shure SM7B.
Yeah. But that's also definitely a cardioid design.
That's how you don't hear this fan. That's right here to my right.
I got my AC blowing
Absolutely,
right now.
and it's beautiful. Yeah. But this would be tough in the mic, in the helmet. It'd be hey everybody. It'd be a little hard to get the big boy in there. So what are some of your ideas? How have you been hoping to improve it?
I actually found something around this size that's cardioid.
What is? How does that plug in? Is that a RCA
it's just
jack?
an aux cord.
Okay, or an aux cord. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just plugs into my phone, However, the downside to this.
Oh, it's plugged in like that.
Yeah. So basically, you have like the helmet. Here's my face right here with the helmet, and then I'm running this like.
Interesting.
Right here, like this,
okay.
Inside my helmet. So
what
and
about
then the cheek pads just kind of keep it in place.
Are you one of those bud guys? What are they called? The Apple Buds? The Apple Buds?
No. That's illegal, I think, in a lot of states.
Man, what else?
Like
to have earbuds? I always rode with earbuds, or not earbuds, but
they have like headphones that like are like playing something, because then it's like blocking out like outside sound.
Well, same as someone in a car playing music. I guess it depends on your local ordinances. I've always ridden.
It probably does.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a Bluetooth system in the helmet, which I have attempted to use.
Do you really?
For my audio.
That's badass.
Yeah. So like I had the guys at Cycle Gear do this because.
Still cool though.
I mean, but basically, you buy like the kit. It comes with like the speakers on each side of the helmet, and then there's like the outer part of like all the for it, and then like the mic that runs up to the front, and there's all these wires and everything. You gotta like open up your helmet and put them in there and everything.
Interesting.
But I tried to use that. It's like $200, and I tried to use that to stream with, and like Twitch mobile streaming is so basic, it doesn't pick up that audio.
You can't have a different audio source. Oh, dang. What a pain. Yep. I wonder if there's a way to do it like with a third-party app on your phone. You know what I mean? Like an audio app that gives you individual sources.
And then the problem with this is that, this works for what it does, but then the problem is that I can't hear any when I plug this in.
Yep.
Which I've discussed many times before. So basically, I guess we could add like a goal for Moto Monday, is that the goal is to have a slightly better audio system, plus be able to like hear alerts while this is plugged in.
Okay. I mean, do you have any theories on how to make that happen? Like, do you have
I've tried putting in like headphones, like
just like with the
old,
little
like skull candy headphones with the mic on the. And that doesn't pick up anything either. Yeah. So
I really wonder about a lav mic, but that would be the same problem with the alerts.
It would be the same problem, yeah.
The alerts.
And then I thought about like buying. I actually did try this. I bought like an audio jack splitter.
Yep, we have one of those. Sometimes it works.
And then like I plugged in the mic on one end, like the headphones on the other end, and that didn't.
Nope, that doesn't work either.
Yeah.
Dang it! What type of phone you got?
Got a Samsung.
Like a Note. So like my Note,
no, it's a Galaxy.
Galaxy Note. So you have an S, the S's or whatever. So I know
S10.
that my Galaxy Note in the settings has an ability to do 2 audio outs at the same time. There might be a solution here. It seems like you're getting really close to having it be about where you want though. You got the good chin mount. The big thing that you're struggling right now is audio.
Yeah, so these improvements were made like over the year of 2021 throughout the summer.
Yeah.
So, I would start with my Pepega looking blue gas tank with the chest mounted phone with terrible audio.
Yeah, but you still did it.
We still did it, and we painted the bike black. And then we eventually improved the camera angle, and then we audio, which we have now. And that, that's like over the course of 6 months last year, over the summer.
That's huge. That's huge. So if you had to say like it's 100 times better, 10 times better from when you first did Moto Monday, where do you think where you land?
It's way better, 100 times better for sure.
Really?
If you find that clip on my channel, the very first like Moto Monday or whatever, the blue gas tank or something.
That blue gas tank, you hate it.
What a difference. I hate it.
I can tell it like, fuck that blue gas tank, man.
I don't hate blue. I just don't like it on my bike, okay? Just go somewhere else.
No, get that blue out of here. There's no room for it in C-Town's life.
Exactly.
So, how does Moto Mondays compare to your gaming days?
It's a different vibe. It's, a lot of people show up for my gaming days to either see like the epic, gameplay. Smasheroonies, either on Battlefront or Dead by Daylight. We had an insane escape the other day on Dead by Daylight. All of us got out all at the same time. I was playing with a couple streamer friends. Velma was one of them. It was like her. And I was laughing so hard like
Yeah.
after the game because we escaped like so clutch and it was so close. I was laughing so hard that the mic wasn't picking it up because like I was,
Yeah,
like,
so it's
holding my voice in.
It's that.
And all you could hear was her trying to control her laugh too. It
Oh
was
my
hilarious.
gosh, that's so fun.
Yeah. And some people are there for that kind of moment. There's a clip of it too. So
Yeah.
a lot of people are there just to clip stuff like that. And then some people are there to like just play with me because they just want to play video games with somebody.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
is, what my
Yeah.
thing was with Chronic, like I just want to play video games with somebody and like embarrass him in his own chat sometimes too, Some
Well,
people are there
everybody
for
starts somewhere. There's a million.
Yeah.
Like I came to Twitch as just an old lonely guy looking to talk to people. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
and some people are looking for that too on my channel.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and
what's your? Sorry, let me. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Moto Monday is not all of that, obviously, but it's you get to a lot of people, get to see my face more close up. I guess get to see me more personally. I would suppose.
It's a much more intimate interaction.
Yeah, and we just talk about like whatever. So basically, to keep it interesting for chat, I do pull over every now and then.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, so I try to keep it around like 20 minutes or so, depending on like traffic and like where I can find a good,
Pull over.
place to pull over.
Yeah.
Well, during that day when it was like 95 degrees, I milked that for like an hour at a time because I just needed to keep wind on me to keep my body cool. You know?
Yeah. Because stopping was death. So
yeah.
how long do you typically try to make your rides last?
So it used to be 2 hours maximum because that's what my phone could handle, and it,
okay.
obviously, because phone batteries a thing to consider.
Absolutely.
But,
big limitation.
Yes, but a few months ago, and we just started doing it this year, I bought a charging case for my phone.
Hey now. Yep.
And that basically doubles the battery life, so I can go for like 4 hours easily.
Yeah, because we have this diesel battery pack. It's like an emergency battery pack.
I tried that, so that's one extra thing to charge and like carry around with me.
Yeah.
And then plus I gotta like run a cord from like my pocket all the way up to my helmet.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then like I could always, I have like an external like USB plug that I hooked up to my bike from the battery.
Ooh.
So like to charge your phone like from the bike, you know what I mean?
Yep. So you can plug. So you actually have a way to plug it into your bike?
Yes, to charge it.
It's just the cord you don't like?
Yes, but well, same problem. I gotta run the cord like all the way from the thing is on the frame like all the way up. So it's in the way. It's in my way basically. So
Interesting. Okay.
the charging case is a lot easier.
Yeah.
Trust.
So you just get off the bike, hook it up to the charging case, and while you're talking, charge the phone back up, and then it gives you
Yep.
more stream time.
Exactly.
Dang,
Yep.
that's a pretty good idea though. Especially if you don't want to deal with the cords.
Exactly.
So what's the
So
longest Moto Monday you've ever done?
Probably like 4.5 hours.
Hot damn, really?
Yeah.
Was
and
there
then
any
after,
problems with the longer show?
So my body is absolutely aching at that point because I'm riding my motorcycle for like over 4 hours straight, which
That's a
you know,
physical task.
yeah, that is for those of you guys who have never touched anything like that before, like anything you sit on that has an engine besides a car.
Yeah.
All the vibrations going on, and you're basically like in a like restricted seating position because you have to keep your feet on the pegs to control the bike, and you have to keep your hands right here to control the bike. So it's like,
And it's a
it's-
natural sitting position. It's not
on
like
mine
you're
it is, yes.
Well, it's not like
Yes.
you're sitting on a comfy chair or leaning
Oh
backwards.
no, it's not a recliner or nothing.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not, yeah. It's
So-
not that. And then you got wind, and you got to lean all the time to navigate traffic, and it's doing that for 4 hours straight does a number on the body.
Well, and also you're narrating. So you're also
Yeah.
not
Oh,
not
yes.
just riding a bike. You're mentally engaged twofold because you're not only riding, you're talking to chat,
Right. Yep.
right? So
Yes. So yeah, like I'm not acknowledging what people are typing in chat because there's two reasons for this. So the way my phone is mounted on my helmet, like it's right on the chin, so I can't see the screen anyways.
when you should
but
be
that's a
looking
good
at it
thing.
while you're riding.
But that's a good thing though. Yeah, exactly. That way I won't get distracted anyways. Some people have
Absolutely.
asked me, okay, why don't you just mount it to the handlebar? And I'm like, ooh, that's probably not a good idea.
yeah, it'd be really vibraty. Every
that
bump.
and also the it would be very distracting in
It
terms of
absolutely
chat.
would be. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because that's the unsafe way to do Moto Monday,
yes.
right? Having chat, entertain themselves, you know, keeping their conversation going while you entertain. That's a way safer
Oh yeah, like
way.
when I'm not, like when we're not pulled over and we're riding, I'm like narrating like going on, like, oh my god, look, and you know, and we're talking shit about like the terrible drivers in front of us, and you know, if I see like a license plate in front of me that stands out, like, oh, look at this guy's license plate, you know, Dr. 2019, or you know, something weird, you know, and then I complain about like getting stuck at red lights, and then like I you know, always go to catch the yellows if I know I can do it. Like, you know, fucking try to risk it or you know, whatever. But like, if I know I can make it, I'll just, you know, just a little bit, just throttle up a little and catch the yellow and go back down to the speed limit, you know.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just normal driving.
Yeah. And then like one time, like I went on the highway and I specifically did like 69 miles per hour for the memes.
Do it for the meme culture.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm like, guys, look, I'm doing
420.
69 right here. And yeah. So, and then, you know, when I pull over and I see all that chat from like back when I was saying this and that and all that stuff.
So you go back and you recap totally.
Yeah. So like,
That's
you know,
awesome.
20 minutes later, you know,
Absolutely.
I go back, pull over, recap, catch up on chat, say hi to people that like just got in that have been waiting for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we just talk about like whatever, you know, if it's someone completely brand new, I will flex on my bike to them all day till they're blue in the face.
How does
you know,
one flex? How does C-Town flex?
So I would take like my phone and like, you know, walk backwards, give them a full, you know, view of the bike.
Yeah.
And then I would kind of like do like a whole rapid zoom in and out, like, you know?
Yeah.
And then I would show them my license plate. So if you guys didn't notice, the license plate.
I have seen the license plate.
I spent $30. Okay.
That's not
This
bad.
is probably the stupidest $30 I've ever spent in my life. But I spent $30 to have the motorcycle license plate say C-Town.
Wow. And I see zero regret on that face.
Zero regret.
Nothing but pride. So,
Yes.
putting a pin in the Motor Monday for now. Is it time finally to tell the people the story, or tell my people the story of the Ctownladiesman name?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Because I personally, the ladies' man is what stands out to me.
Oh
the
yeah,
most.
that's
because
yes.
it's almost as if you're doing it as an ironic title, since you seem to be maidenless and not
back
actively.
then. It kind of was ironic because I was in high school and I didn't date anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to, but like the only good options were always taken in my high school. So I was like, well, shit.
Did you come from a big high school? Small
I did,
high-
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But like the problem, actually, I probably would have been better off at a smaller one because the problem with a big one is that like you have more of everything else too. So you have more good ones too, but you also have more bad ones too.
That's
so
true.
It's like,
exponential.
yeah.
The ratio.
So yeah, the ratio is actually worse at a larger high school. So yeah. So anyways, so we wind the clocks back to sophomore year. Okay.
Which was.
I'm like 15 or 16 years old.
Okay.
Let's see. This was
Early
like,
2000s, late 2000s.
2013,
Oh,
2012
God.
ish.
Okay. Yep. 2013.
Yeah. So like actually, so like pretty much 10 years ago.
So very recently.
Yeah. Well, not for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Jeez, I can't believe I've been calling myself C-Town for 10 years.
That's
This
crazy,
is
isn't it? I'm not gonna tell you how long I've been calling myself Marcus. Long time.
anyways.
Long time.
Anyway, so back then I got like my first smartphone.
Yep.
And I thought it was so badass. I mean, it was this thing.
What was it?
I think it was a Motorola.
Yeah, Motorola
something.
for the win.
Yeah. So
Isn't it crazy, Reagan?
it is.
It's just crazy. Time
It
will
is.
never stop for nobody.
So I got my first smartphone, and then like I start investing in like social media, because back then social media was cool. Now it's not. Okay.
No, it has lost its soul.
It has. So back then, you know, I was on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat.
MySpace?
No.
Oh,
Hard
see,
pass. Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah. And if you go on my Twitter account, you go back like, you know, 10 years, several years. I mean, you're going to see all these tweets that make no sense because like back then, like everyone like in my high school would like make a Twitter account just to tweet about what was going on in class.
Yep.
It makes no sense.
That's how it all started.
Yep. And I needed a name, obviously. I didn't want to use my real name
Yeah.
for like the you know, whatever. And I was just like, man, I gotta make this account soon. I want to get in on the fun, but I don't know what to call it. So there was a football game at school. Okay. And I went there, and it's just like any other high school football game.
Yeah. Dumb kids trying to
kids
pretend
just doing dumb things.
Yeah, pretend they're not drinking or getting caught.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's this rap battle going on, like behind the bleachers.
A rap battle, you say?
A rap battle, yeah.
Okay. All right. So an intense rap battle is underfoot.
Very intense, very intense.
Yeah.
It was taking my attention away from the game. That's how intense it was.
Were you winning?
No, I did not join. I just went over there.
Oh, you were an observer. Okay. I thought you were out there spitting bars, Okay. My name's C-Town, doing what I can. Okay.
So I go over there, okay, and it goes from a rap battle to like a roasting session, which was weird at first. But then like it was just everyone just trying to rank each other, I guess. Like everyone was just like talking shit about each other.
Okay, so that's I've been there.
It's my generation's weird, I guess. I don't know.
We all did it. Just the way you guys do it's weird. That's the weirdest part.
So there's this guy in the crowd.
So a lot of O's, like oh.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yes.
All right, a lot of O's.
Like you've seen that video on YouTube. I'm sure you've seen it. Like, oh, psych, that's the wrong number. And then like every, goes crazy. Have you ever seen that YouTube video?
They all like kind of fall backwards. Yeah, I have seen that.
Yes. So it was kind of like that, And I go up to like the whole crowd, and there's this kid there, in my grade, and he's got like, this huge afro going, right? And it's like his friends versus another group of friends, right?
Okay, just going back and forth.
Yep. And then I just jump in there and I say, they were gonna do the Jackson 6, but you didn't make the cut. And then they all just lost their shit. Yeah, all of them. They all just like I killed the whole contest right there. Yeah.
Dunking on people.
This is me like 16 years old, like just shitting on people, right?
So you were just out of nowhere. You jumped in and say that. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, big moment for C-Town.
And they all were just laughing and everything like that. And they were and one of them came up to me and he was just like, yo, that's my boy C-Town right there. That's what I'm about to call you from now on.
No kidding. Interesting.
Yes. So, and then I added the ladies' man part from that movie. From that movie Transformers, like the first one.
Okay,
have you seen it before?
I have.
So his eBay page or whatever was like ladies man with a bunch of numbers or like whatever.
So that's where that came from.
So that's where that came from. So I just combined the two.
So interesting. So that was truly the birth. So the birth of C-Town was prefaced by the ultimate burn. The ultimate burn was what you're like the phoenix out of the fire of that burn. You were born.
And I don't know if I have anything to do with this, but by the time we graduated, this was sophomore year when this happened, but by the time we were seniors, we graduated, that afro was gone on that guy. Just saying.
So you burned, you literally burned his afro off is what you did.
I pretty much did. Not immediately. Like he kept it around for like another year.
Well, like, the worst type of burn is the one that never heals.
Yeah, the slow burn, right?
you know? That slow burn.
It was a legendary roast that I don't know what like possessed me to think of that. It just came to me.
Man. Good grad. I love that. That's a great origin story.
Yeah.
So you just made a Twitter account. Too. So is it all? So it's your gamer tag, I assume now.
Oh, it's everything. Yeah. So back then it was my Twitter, my Snapchat, my PlayStation.
Yeah. All of it.
And now my Twitch and YouTube. So I do try to use like C-Town by itself when I can.
Yep.
And that's another good thing about like the ladies man portion is that like if C-Town's taken, I'll just add the ladies man. It,
good point.
That's not going to be taken, obviously. So, and I don't want to just cop out and add like a bunch of numbers.
Nah, like 2022, it'd be bullshit, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Who does that?
Freaking old nerds. That's who. So, is there a push to eventually, inevitably drop the ladies man completely and be C-Town?
Like definitely. Like if let's say for example I make Twitch partner, you have like username like priority.
Really?
Yes, like because Chronic, for example, when he made prefixes, and I still do this to him to troll him, But you know how like when you do a TTS, but you use emotes on the TTS on Twitch?
Yeah.
It'll like just spell out like the
It
TTS.
will. Yeah.
So his used to be Direct58 before he made Partner. So every time you spam his emotes on like, you know, TTS, it would be Direct58, Direct58, Direct58.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then when he made Partner, he changed his name to Director Chronic.
Well, it was still Director Chronic, but back then, like...
It was Director Chronic 58.
No, like back then, I think because there's probably someone else on Twitch that's also got Director in his name.
Ah, okay.
And they just have to give him numbers. I don't have numbers in my emo prefixes, though, but I know for a fact there's probably some, you know, random account not in use out there right now, Town on Twitch.
Yeah.
And if I made Partner, they would probably give that to me.
Interesting.
So that's just an example. Like on a YouTube channel, it's Town. Because on YouTube, you can just name it like, you know, whatever without worrying about it being taken. And then, I mean, there's going to be some limitations, like, you know, for example, like Battlefront, my origin name, which is like the servers and the game is from. Yeah. Like that's taken, and that EA is not going to, you know.
Well, yeah, and the bigger you get, the more people are going to take your name.
Exactly, right.
You know? So ultimately, you got to be
there are going to be some limitations. There's some things that I just can't, you know, do. I think Twitter's going to be another same thing too. Unless like I become, you know, a famous celebrity, I get my account verified.
Yeah.
Nothing I'm going to be able to do about Twitter. So
I'm losing you again. You're breaking up.
Oh, am I breaking up again?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just really scooch in here.
You shouldn't have to lick it, but
yeah,
you know.
You like jazz?
Yeah, I do like jazz. Actually, I like the B movie a whole bunch. Apparently, I'm Marcus62. Who would have thought? There's 61 other Marcuses. Bunch of assholes, I say.
Oh no, I got this guy that's Ctown's biggest fan now and one of my followers.
Really? So people are making.
I'm sure that's an alt, but you know.
I mean, but how cool is it though to see that?
It is.
You know?
It's so cool. Yes.
There's a billion different streamers that people could watch, and there's something truly genuine about generating a fan on Twitch.
Yes.
And I can't put my finger on it. But when you know, you know. Like when you know that somebody is there for a while, is going to be there in a genuine capacity, like it's just sticks with you. And you're one of those people too. Like when you first showed up, you're just there. It's like, hey, I'm Ctown. Okay, bye. And then it's like, hey, well, bye, Ctown. Nice to see you. But that's all I needed. I just needed that little bit of lurk. And then you're still just a constant in the mind. And the ironic part is, so in real estate, we call that being top of mind. It's actually it's a really common sales technique, is what you do naturally as a personality. Is being top of mind means that you essentially constantly be the person that you want people to think of if they need something. So in real estate, it's sales. So basically, when I was in real estate long term, everything that I did was more or less real estate related. It was never a big deal. It's like, hey, who wants me to sell their house? I would just say like, oh yeah, when I was showing properties today, you know, during real estate, it was kind of a pain in the ass. But what happens is you continually talk about that, what you do. Eventually people always think of you when they think of real estate. So they see a Redfin commercial. I wonder how Mark's doing. And the reason they thought that is because on Facebook, I posted a whole thing about, hey, check out this house and how I'm a real estate. Isn't this awesome? So it's different than advertising. Advertising is advertising your services.
Yeah.
Being
I
top
can kind of
of
see
mind,
that right now myself. Yeah.
Yeah, is you come in, you give a very memorable instance most of the time, long neck, ice cold, right? You have a small effort-induced thing that makes you always be top of mind. So when you come in, it's like you were never gone. That's what being top of mind is.
So I say that, and then you go to the bar or grab a six-pack or whatever, like, oh.
Yep.
Huh.
I want to see Ctown's doing.
Was singing about
and then
that.
all of a sudden, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if he's live. And there you sure as shit are. And now all of a sudden I'm like, hey, Ctown, guess what song I just heard? It's that's top of mind. That's called living rent-free in someone else's brain.
Yep. I can actually see myself like,
you're great at
that.
it.
Like
you are great
pretty
at
much
it.
every single like Twitch like streamer that I've like dedicated followership and like interactive this to, I can definitely see them thinking about me randomly throughout the day somehow.
You have a memorable impact in a very short amount of time. And I would argue that's one of your biggest strengths, is you do have a lasting impression on people. And that is what makes a good content creator. We think about you when we're not watching your shit. You know how frustrating that is as a fan?
I actually get DMs on Discord all the time saying, Ctown, when are you going live? Ctown, where's the stream? And I'm like, dude, I'm at work. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it right now, man.
When those come through, what hits you? Like, when someone's like, hey, Ctown, you're top of mind right now. What is going through your brain when you see those?
If they, like, want me and there's absolutely nothing I can do, I feel bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I'm just like, well, I mean, it's not really my fault. I mean, I'm doing what I'm supposed to right now. So it's like, well, you know.
So you take it to a healthy place. You take it to a healthy place. That's great, though. I love that, because that, to me, my personal life is, I get a lot of appreciation through those efforts, right? The random text, the one-off, hey, just was thinking about you, saw this commercial, thought you might like it kind of thing. Those small gestures of humanity are truly some of the most memorable to me. Like, that's why I make such an effort to compliment, right? So when you come in, I want to bring up our long neck ice cold, right? I want to say like, hey man, I love when you do this. And I say the compliment because I believe in the reinforcing behavior.
Yep. And then when you come in, I referenced the whole Master Cheeks thing on Halo that you
and
were...
it's beautiful.
You know, that was, oh man.
Showing crack to the world, baby. That's
had me like research if there was a YouTube account because you wanted that name.
Oh
like, bro,
God.
it's taken.
It was taken, and I was so upset about it because it was so good. But
it's such a great name, though.
That small gesture, that little, if you put it on a timeline of greatness, it wouldn't even be a blip. But it's the cumulative. Like, you've seen A Bug's Life, haven't you?
Yes. Oh, I love that movie.
Right?
That's my
We
childhood
are
right there. Yes.
the seeds.
Yes.
The community is our seeds. And if we appreciate each one, man, it's just cool. And that's what you do different. You actually plant something. It's not just, hey, Marcus, I'm streaming in 10 minutes. I'm going to come say hi. That's different.
Oh, yeah. Like, if I'm about to type something in, like, somebody's chat and it's, like, intended to be, like, funny, I like, 5-head thought it out.
Good.
Based off the context of, like, what is being talked about on stream or, like, just what I'm observing.
Yeah.
Like, I like, plan this, you know? So
when do you walk away as a streamer, when do you know it was a good stream? How do you hit stop streaming and go, hot damn?
Oh man, that's actually a really good question.
Yeah.
Lately, it's honestly just been when like I just like started losing myself. I've had a pretty stressful week because I'm changing apartments next week.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And then I'm working and then I'm working 30 hours a week plus trying to still stream the day I worked, and I'm just exhausted. And it's hard to do that. And I mean, this is nothing because we're just talking right now, but like when I'm like trying to zone in on games, read chat, react to alerts, do whatever the channel point redeems telling me to do, and I'm just like exhausted from work, it's, you know, it's just been pretty stressful for me lately. So lately I've just pretty much been going like once I got annoyed and I was just like, you know what, I just had enough. I need to just stop now. But before, like the past couple weeks before, I would try to keep the ending time at least consistent.
Yeah.
I know I never had like a set schedule up until now, but like the ending time, I would try to do midnight if we're streaming later.
Okay.
Because I noticed that like once midnight hits, at least for the people in my time zone, that's kind of like when everyone just starts to go to bed.
Yeah.
And there's not as many people watching me anymore. And then I don't want to run out of options of people that I know for raids. So
good
in
point.
theory,
that's a good point.
I could stream until like, you know, 5 o'clock in the morning, but then the problem is that like there's no one left to raid, and then I don't want to just end stream without raiding. I hate doing that. It's such a waste to me. But the problem with raiding someone I never like even met before or whatever, and I've had this experience happen to me, is that like one time I raided a guy that was playing the same game as me, and he got all mad that we were spamming emotes and just like going crazy in his chat after the raid. And I'm just like, what?
He got mad about it.
Yeah, he got mad.
Interesting. What about it?
So he just didn't like all the spam in his chat.
Interesting
dude,
job choice.
There's 2 people watching you. Someone was nice enough to raid you and like bring all these people here and party it up and everything.
Trying
and
to
you're,
network
like, all salty.
and interesting.
Yeah. So ever since that happened to me, I just honestly like only do like raids that people that I know that I can trust that will, appreciate the raid, because it makes me look bad like when I bring people over and say, hey guys, we're gonna go raid, let's have fun, let's do this, and it turns out to be like terrible.
So do you, obviously we all raid based off of who's live, but it sounds like you kind of go in with a somewhat of a plan. I know who's going to be on during this time. So have you ever looked at doing that with a new person that you picked like beforehand? Because then you at least know that you're not raiding an asshole, but it's still a brand new raid. Like, for example, you find somebody and you don't say anything to them for
like
the first...
earlier? Oh,
yeah,
okay. I know what you mean.
As a planning stage, I guess.
I would like to do that in the future. I just don't have enough time to just browse through Twitch and just rapidly check out people's streams.
Yeah. It's tough, especially when there's pre-rolls on every single video.
Exactly. Yeah, that too. So what I like to do is that first things first, I look at the list of who's online, and then are any of them playing the same game as me?
Yep.
Okay, how many viewers? Who has the lowest amount of viewers? Who like some love?
Yeah.
Or like who's like doing a birthday stream or like a charity or
raising money. Same.
I try to like make it like as efficient as possible, because
is this like a hype stream or just a regular stream?
Exactly.
A special event versus regular, and regular isn't bad, but a lot of times supporting a special event is it's nice. It's good to do.
And then like sometimes like someone's streaming and they're like they're hosting like games or something. Like Rocketooey is someone I commonly raid a lot on Tuesdays because she hosts DBD Kill Your Friends. She sets up a private lobby and we all take turns like fucking with each other.
Yeah.
So like I would end my stream before or like right after she starts and go out and raid her, and then just like get on her Discord call on her stream and just be there, because I'm gonna be there anyways, you know what I mean? So I would do stuff like that too. So it depends on the day. I mean, everyone's schedule changes all the time, and some people take the day off and like whatever, but like I try to make it like maximized efficiency on like where is the absolute best place to go based on all those factors.
So do you think it's more important to have a good start or a good end to a stream?
Good end, definitely.
Really?
I mean, you could start good and like have 2 people be there, or you could end and have like 20 people be there, and what would you rather have? Awesome. Because that's what I noticed what happens with my channel. Like I would start and there's probably like a few people there, but then like by the time I'm ending, there's way more people have shown up.
Interesting. I wonder if you had to guess, like what about your show do you feel is what makes the ending peak? Because that's typically the opposite, right? Like a lot of times after a longer amount of time streaming, the numbers will go down rather than start to go up. So do you think that by stopping it at a specific time every time, you're almost giving that FOMO a little? Because it's like, if I'm not on before this time, he's gone. So like, oh shit, it's 11:30. I better go get some Ctown in my life.
Yep.
Yeah. So you think that's a factor?
I think that has something to do with it. Yeah, because like I said, I usually, if we're streaming late, if it's like past dark and we're still going, like I try to end around midnight. Yeah. Just so for one, I don't mess up my sleep pattern, but two, I just don't want to like stream until like 2 o'clock in the morning and there's like 2 people watching me because everyone else went to bed. That's like kind of a waste, you know? And then there's no one left to raid, and it's like, wow, what am I still doing here, Do
you have your numbers on when you stream?
Like my
your viewer count?
Wait, I mean, are you channel or mine?
What? No, like
I'm not live right now.
No, in general. Like when you stream, do you have your viewer count on?
Yes.
And does that why? I'm sure you've heard turn it off, turn it on. Is there something that makes you turn it on?
I've heard the controversy. I think turning it off is good if you're... Yeah, it's a debate. Chronic says to turn it off, but I've noticed that only really helps you if you're like super small. You got like, you barely made affiliate, or you're not even...
It's like your phone and your TV kind of deal? Which again, you
Yes.
got to start somewhere. Everybody started
Yes.
somewhere.
Yeah,
But
I used to read chat off my phone. I did not have a second monitor always.
Same.
Yep. So like once you get into like that, okay, I'm an affiliate and I know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to grow the channel like consistently and everything. Like the viewer count on or
It
off is not gonna
matters.
make a difference.
Did my joke or did this segment or did this thing that I just did make people tune out? And
Yeah,
now
exactly.
they,
Like you can tell like what just happened in the last 20 minutes. The viewer count go up or down. Like if you look to your to your monitor.
It's true.
So, and I just like to know like how many people are like watching me right
Chilling.
now. Like I like to look at the viewers in chat, like see who's here. Like if they're not talking, I just want to know who's lurking or whatever.
Does it affect your motivation? Like
No, definitely not.
Really?
No.
So if you're chilling, you got 3 hours left because you want to stop at midnight. That bitch is sitting at 1, 2. You just press forward. Doesn't even affect you.
Exactly.
That's
because
huge, man. That's huge.
Because I'm sure people are gonna go back in the VOD and look to see what they missed sometimes.
Wow.
And I don't want them to like look at me being all half-assed because no one was there at the time.
Want to become famous? Not really.
Oh, I want to be famous. Pick me.
Yeah. What the hell do you think I'm doing here? We're putting the whole show together to try to be famous. If you get famous first, then I'll buy your shit. How about that?
There we go. All right, that's the deal.
As soon as I see Ivan Orola on Madison Square Garden billboard when me and Ctown are doing our concert, then we'll talk.
Yeah.
I got it. Oh, that's because it's restream. I'm assuming on Twitch she's been banned.
Oh,
Here we go.
Does it come through YouTube as well?
So only when I have the restream app on. So I don't have it on right now, but eventually, when there is more crosstalk, I probably will bring it so that people can see what each other.
I thought about implementing it because I feel like I would build a little bit more if people on YouTube that don't use Twitch could just still see me play games.
Yeah. Well, and I'm an old guy that doesn't use Twitch unless I'm at my computer. We watch YouTube on our television, and I truly just the more I thought about it I was like, there has got to be more people like me than young people who are watching Twitch. Because
I mean, there's probably like kids that just don't have a computer because parents won't let them or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, when you're old, you want to sit on your couch. So we have our TV up here. We put on YouTube, and that's more or less our television.
I sit in this chair more than anything that I own.
Really? See, and I did too when I was your age, right? But now as an old guy, I just want to be entertained, and cable is ass. I got nothing but no love for cable. But YouTube, baby, I can watch YouTube all day. Between news, gaming, like education, it's got a little bit of everything. So YouTube, love me more. Sorry, I definitely kind of got sidetracked a little.
Yeah, well, we've been sidetracked all day. It's okay.
Well, that's the idea. So we're into the 3-hour mark, about 2 hours for us, I believe. And essentially, I love doing this with you. You have a great mind to you, sir. I hope you understand that. Ultimately, experience you're gonna be such a big deal. I can't wait to watch you continue to grow because it's awesome. The last thing we were talking about was viewer count, and ultimately I kind of want to end it up with this last train of thought that we run down.
Okay.
Now there's the cliched like, what's the secret? I think that's personally stupid. I don't think there's secrets to being successful. You can do the same practices from sales to content creation to construction, you name it. If you're selling yourself, there's universal, very well-known principles to success. Okay? So I'm not going to ask you what your secret is, but I am going to ask you, and I hope you have an answer for this. What do you believe is going to be the ticket to you being a successful, by your definition, successful streamer? What do you feel your power is, your strength, your personality type, whatever it may be, that is going to rocket you to the top? What makes you different?
Probably just, the fact that I'm just willing to grind. It took me like 2 months to get affiliate.
So your work ethic.
Work ethic. Because I know some people that like I'm really good friends with on Twitch that got it in 2 seconds because somebody like Chronic or Serpent or whatever rated them, and they had so many people on the raid, they got all those.
Wow.
So it's like,
Yeah. See, it took me months. It took me a lot of months to get affiliate.
I was basically like trying to rush through homework so I would have enough time each week so I could stream to build up the channel. Like when I first started out 2 years ago. And that took me about 2 months to get A, the followers, and B, like the average viewer, whatever you want to call it, that you needed. So yeah, definitely like my effort, I think, is like.
So how does that? I guess I want to dig a little deeper because I'm truly curious what you believe is unique, and I appreciate the work ethic. I get it, but work ethic is an act to accomplish the job. What about, because there's a lot of hardworking people out there. Have you ever thought, what about my show, my stream, like Motor Monday, for example? Like, have you ever thought, this is what makes me different, and therefore,
that's definitely what makes me different. Yeah,
the work ethic.
Definitely. That's definitely, but yeah, I guess we'll throw away the work ethic in a second, because yeah, the Moto Monday, that's definitely what makes me different. I mean, I've gone, I used to, like I said earlier, read chat off my phone, use my webcam camera on my laptop.
Yeah.
Nice looking camera that I have now, to stream. I mean, yeah, anyone can make those kind of improvements, but like the fact that I found a way to get a really nice POV view from my phone, have decent audio that we're still working on some potential, improvements for, and still somewhat keep it interesting for multiple hours, like each week. I mean,
that's
like,
huge, man.
It's huge, and there's no one, I don't think, to my knowledge, there's nobody on Twitch doing that.
I've never come across a bike streamer.
Yeah. I mean, and there's people in the IRL category, and I want to raid somebody like in that category, eventually consistently. I just don't know anyone else that's like, doing the IRL category besides me, like consistently.
So is there anything that's stopping you? Because obviously I'm not saying don't do Battlefield, but is there something getting in the way, obviously time, that's truly allowing you to do the Motor Mondays in a way? Okay, no, better question. Is there anything about the Motor Mondays, we talked about audio, but anything else about Motor Mondays that you're working towards to make like truly better? Like, what are the goals for Motor Mondays?
Yes. So I don't know if it's possible, but I just want to be able to hear alerts, but also have a good mic plugged into my phone at the same time.
Okay.
So it's
huge
it's at least
deal.
a little more interactive while we're riding and not pulled over. Because I can see the argument, because I've talked to many people before. I can see the argument where it kind of sucks if I've been riding around for like 20 minutes straight and you're just sitting there waiting for me to notice you, because you literally got there as I put my helmet on, and now I can't see the chat anymore. So it's like, and if you want to get my attention with bits, okay, great, but the problem is I can't hear the bits alert because the mic's plugged in right now. So it's like,
well, I imagine that's a big part of where the community comes in, right? That's where they explain to the new person, like, hey, pup, this is what happens. He just put his helmet on. So do you feel you get a lot of that support on those Moto Mondays?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like explaining it to the people?
Yes. Especially if there's like, regulars, VIPs, mods, whatever in chat, definitely. I've seen them say, hey, he can't see your message right now. Just wait a few more minutes.
Yeah.
He's going to see you soon. Or like, hey, don't worry about distracting him. He can't see his phone the way it's mounted. So, we can talk about whatever right now.
That's got to feel good.
So yeah, a huge shout out to my community for every single Monday, keeping that information available. Because I think a lot of people have probably tuned in and were there for like 5 minutes and we're just like, okay, well, this guy doesn't read his chat, I'm leaving. So,
Yeah, but also like, if people are that ignorant to the fact that you're riding a motorcycle and you can't read your chat during, I mean, do you want those people in the community?
Yes. That's also true. Like, you're getting all salty because I'm actively operating a motorcycle and you want me to stop what I'm doing and read your message. Yes,
what
that's
true
also
quality is that person bringing to the conversation? I would argue very little.
But yeah, I think so it's gonna be a really hard thing to do because I have no idea like what I'm gonna do about it. But that's that kind of goal for Moto Monday, just to make it more interactive between streamer and viewer, is what I'm going for.
Man, so obviously I'm just throwing it out there because it's really cool. Have you seen those heads-up display helmets?
Yes, I have. Like Iron Man. Yes.
No.
I
In
have.
real life, there's an actual company.
Yeah,
that
I know.
makes
It's
the,
like
okay,
it's
yeah,
just like we'd have an Iron Man. Yeah.
So if
Yep.
you ever got extra money laying around, I mean, but again, it's the same argument. It's not very safe to be reading chat.
Yeah.
So text to speech, but again, super distracting as well.
And then the other risk is that I spend all that money, and is it even compatible with like the Twitch mobile app? that I'm using?
Exactly.
So, because I dropped $200 on my helmet's Bluetooth, and I mean, it works great for like phone calls and music, but that's all I can use it for, you know? So,
I would look into like some third-party apps that are for audio control, and essentially they would just take over your phone's audio control. And I don't know, but if I ever see something, I will definitely send it your way.
Yeah. Well, what needs to happen is that Jeff Bezos
Listen
and
here, Jeff.
you know, all his higher ups need to get into office together for a conference and say, hey, we need to start making some improvements to the mobile service here for Ctown and all his other IRL friends.
I'll send an email. I'll tell Jeff what's up.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I mean, I could do this forever, but I got a sweaty back and I kind of want to stand up. So, how'd it go, man? What do you think of it all?
This was awesome. I
Did
definitely
you
want to do this
enjoy it?
again too. Yes, this was a great talk, just learning about me and talking about bikes for most of the stream and talking about Marcus, today we talked about something that like people I've known longer than you did not know about me, and that was the crash.
Wow. No kidding. I feel
Chronic doesn't know, Mary doesn't know, Tui doesn't know,
Mary!
Chef DeLorean.
I don't think she's hearing her. I keep yelling at her.
Yeah. No, she'll find out eventually.
Really? Well, I feel extremely honored that you chose to allow me to present your story on my platform. That's enormous.
I have not told anybody that besides like, you know, family and friends off the internet, you know?
I mean, so you know I gotta ask, like, why do you think you did? Why do you think you felt comfortable
it was
doing
just,
it?
it was the right time. I felt comfortable. And I just didn't want to make because, you know, I've only been doing Moto Money for like a year. I didn't want to make myself feel like that's doing all these high risk IRL streams because, I was just recently in a crash and now I'm doing this. So I didn't want to like, you know, come off as that guy either, you know?
So you wanted to tell your story.
That's kind of why that's just kind of why I've held it, you know?
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, and you know me, I'm about to do my thing again, but I truly believe that you are holding a little bit of shame, inappropriately speaking, towards your crash. There's absolutely nothing wrong with knowing that you could have done better and that you plan on doing better in the future without taking it to a negative place that you actually did something wrong. Right? So I see a huge, like, this is the first step to you forgiving yourself for crashing. And I think that's really important.
I've forgiven myself definitely at this point. Yeah, fully, absolutely. As soon as I purchased all my upgraded gear and I was consistently like, you know, riding around safely and everything like that, I completely forgave myself.
You did? Because it's like lesson learned, man.
Lesson learned. The bike is fixed. My body's healing.
Alive.
I have better gear now, and you know I'm doing this more responsibly than before.
And that's huge. Because I mean, I'll give you the super short version. When I crashed my bike, I mean, 30s of thousands of dollars in debt, bruised kidney, broken collarbone, lost every job I had, smelled horrible because I couldn't take a shower because I was so broken. Like I hard crashed my bike. You know how I did it? I was showing off for a girl. Literally, we were up in the canyon. She was on her bike. I was on mine. We passed like 6 cars at once. She passed 5. I passed the 6th. I should have only passed 5. It was perfectly safe to pass 5. And I was going too fast. I hit loose gravel on the side of went right into a turn. I hit loose gravel. Oh no, my whole butt, my ass. The second I hit the sand, I was on the ground. There was no wobble at all.
So you just lost all your traction.
My traction eroded away. I was in a turn. I was going fast. It was my fault, but I was going fast. I didn't see the sand. Went into the turn, laid the bike down, and basically slid on my face this way. I hit a rock. The rock broke my collarbone and flipped my body over. That's how hard I hit the rock.
So, okay, because that did not happen to me. I just went straight down and slid. So you actually got air.
No, I tumbled. Because once I hit the rock, my momentum, big boy Marcus shoulder blades, stopped. But my ass momentum went forward. So I hit the rock, flipped over onto my back, and woke up with a broken collarbone on my back, and I immediately jumped up to grab my bike. And as soon as I grabbed my bike, I felt my bones pull apart, and I was like, "Oh, I broke my shoulder."
Oh no!
Right?
You can actually feel it transpire.
Dude,
in your
it
body.
was rough. It was a tough. It was a tough one, but
maybe I guess that's how I'll determine if I have a potential bone next time.
If you can pull it apart and it hurts like hell when you pull it apart, it's very, very likely that it is broken.
Yeah, it was just in pain. I just, I just thought it was broken just because of how much pain I was in. So maybe, I don't know.
I love it, dude. Well, this has been an absolute joy and pleasure to tell your story, or to hear you tell your story. I plan on editing this and giving you a copy for you to do with whatever
excellent.
you want.
Of course, yeah. This will go on my YouTube channel. Yeah.
This was 100% benefit for me, and I thank you so much for the time.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Man. So if you ever want to do this again, this is Streamer
definitely.
Mastermind. It's going to be on Wednesdays. And I want to try to do this at a high level because we got a lot of value to bring to people. We got experience that we can give, and we can benefit from each other. And that's what we should do, brother.
Is this what's separating you from everybody on your channel, then, I would say?
My superpower that's going to make me one of the most famous streamers that have ever existed, as soon as I find the ability to be motivated like you, is my ability to understand people by literally having a 2-minute conversation with them. I truly believe that I understand people in almost a superhero level way. Okay. And I think that ability to talk to literally anyone about anything without any judgment is what will make me different and launch me to the top, man. People love to talk. People love to hear about other people, and the world needs that done in a positive, non-judgmental way. Because everybody fucks up. We all wreck our bikes. We all have horrible relationships at one point. We've made mistakes. And because we're all the same, let's stop acting like we're so fucking different. And this right here, this conversation, doing things like this, is how we're going to do it, man. And I love it. So when you have an answer, that's what I want to hear when people ask you what's going to make you different. Because you're special, Ctown. You're a beautiful soul. You have an ability to make people like you immediately. So take that with what you will. That's, in my eyes,
excellent.
That's your superpower. You are an extremely likable person.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Marcus. And yeah, coming on here to this week, this was awesome. I can't believe you even invited me because I saw you do this a few times.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, he wants me to come on the show.
See, and the ironic part is I thought, I can't believe Ctown agreed. You're a big deal to me,
You thought I was going to say no?
Yeah.
Why?
I thought you thought I was leeching off of your viewers or...
No!
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
So,
no.
It's an honor to me. I mean it. So
wow.
It just goes to show, Mr. I don't want to ask to be on the team. You never fucking know what somebody thinks about you. So it's worth putting yourself out there. That's how you find love. That's how you find success. And it's how you find happiness. No, not one of those three things can be planned perfectly. And therefore, you always have to be ready for some unknown, uncomfortable bullshit if you want to accomplish any of them. The only thing predictable is negativity. Because we can write our own story. Nobody can write their own success story. They have to work for that shit.
That's right.
That's right. So,
tell them.
Yeah. All right. Do you have anything else, brother?
Well, I appreciate I've been reading your comments in chat, guys. I just didn't want to, completely jerk off the conversation because we already did that on other things earlier. But yeah, guys, all your comments today in your chat. The missus is shouting me out a couple of times.
Oh,
Chef DeLorean, Mateo, Mary. I got a bunch of people that came over from my channel.
I know. Thank you so much
to see this. So yeah, thank you guys for. I pinned my Discord.
I saw that too.
Sent out a tweet. To tell everybody I was gonna be here because I know I got DMs waiting for. Hey, Ctown, when's your stream? And I'm like,
sliding in. Oh, yeah, man. You're a big deal to a lot of people. Ctown, never forget that. All right, and then also
thank you everybody for the support today. This was great.
I didn't read it, but I absolutely loved Chef DeLorean's idea about during Moto Mondays, you make your stops at local food places and you talk about them. That is such a smart idea.
No, I've actually offered that to my streamer friend Hi Jedi. I don't think you know her.
I don't believe so.
She completely simps for Wendy's. She's like obsessed with it. She has
Simping
dedicated
for
her
Wendy's.
She has dedicated sound alerts and emotes to this fast food chain.
Wow.
Okay.
Love.
I don't know what it comes from. I don't know what her infatuation is with it or whatever. But I told her, offers on the table. It's still on the table. If she ever comes to Moto Monday, I will go to Wendy's live on camera. I will order whatever she wants me to order. And I will eat it on stream, on cam, in front of everybody.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so now do that. Start with your favorite places. And start. The more we learn about Ctown, the more we love you. So if you take us to your favorite watering hole, okay, you take us to your favorite watering hole, and you show us what you love, man. The more you expose your people to what Ctown is, you're just a likable son of a bitch, man. So just give us more of you. We know you're cracked at DBD. We know you're a cracked gamer, but we want to see that you're a cracked person. Right? So go do that. And I love it. I love it. You know, I'll give you the Irish goodbye. It means, so there's two versions of an Irish goodbye. One of them takes 2 hours and one of them takes 2 seconds.
That's a pretty far gap in between the two.
I'm just kidding. Can you imagine?
Wait, what just happened?
Can you imagine? So the joke was the Irish goodbye, right?
Oh.
One takes 2 seconds. And then I
I guess that one took 2 seconds.
There you go. So no, we did we're gonna do the Scottish goodbye.
Okay.
Okay, do you know what a Scottish goodbye is?
No.
Okay. I don't either. I was hoping I'd come up with a joke. So Scottish goodbye is thank you so much for being here, my friend. I look forward to doing this again.
Marcus.
And then we should talk soon. Because you're a good person to have in my life. All right?
Okay, excellent.
And for those who don't know, get your asses over there. Ctown. He is 10 times the streamer I want to be, and literally half the man. He's 5'9". Look at him. Okay? So you got the big boy and you got the great guy. Sound good?
Yes,
all right, brother.
Definitely.
Ctown, thank you so much, dude. Let's talk soon.
Dude.
Peace.
All right.
Peace. Now, come on. That Irish goodbye was pretty funny.